Hello, everybody, and welcome to this extra, very special Hobby Titans. I'm joined. She's back. It's Kat. By Kat. I'm joined by Kat. Kat, you're back. How's it going?
I'm back for now.
Yeah.
And then I'm gone again.
Yeah.
And I'll be back again.
Yeah. It is great to have you back. It's been a couple weeks.
2 weeks.
Only, right? What are you working on?
I think a repulsor. I think that's what it is.
You know, we had a 40K quiz a little while back, Kat. Someone needs a refresher. Yeah, I think it. I'll be honest, I might not know either, but chat's gonna know. I think it is a repulsor. Yeah. The thing is, there's like 4 or 5 different variants of a repulsor.
Yeah. I don't know because I am also kit bashing it a little bit. Okay. Yeah. I'm making it a Legion of the Damned.
Yeah.
Repulsor. So.
This is gonna be exciting. I'm excited to see this unfold. Meanwhile, I am still working on the studio's Alpha Legion army. If you didn't catch it, or maybe you're not a member of Tabletop Titans, if you are a member, you would have seen last night that I took them out against the Necrons. Adrian's ran some Necrons, and the Alpha Legion got their debut. And I said on that stream that I still have a little bit of work to go. I got them battle ready, and I'm kind of excited to go beyond battle ready. So that's what we're going to be working on today. I have some cool base stuff I'm going to show you guys when we go to the Glam Cam in a sec. You guys will see it. And I'll just do a little details. Just kind of talk you through randomly when I'm doing cool stuff. Yeah. Cool. Have a funky way I'm making like tall grass this time around.
Oh, okay.
I actually didn't show you this. I went to go buy, the tall grass, like woodland scenics.
Wow.
I wanted green. I wanted like a bright green. So I got something else instead, and I think I figured out a solution. So that's it. Are you ready for this?
Yeah.
Okay, let's get creative. Okay, here he is. This is what my Alpha Legion is looking like these days. Guys, I did turn Kat's mic up a little bit, so hopefully you can hear her better.
Yay.
I'm also like yelling right now, I feel like. But that's probably because I've been on the stream with Adrian and Megan, who, like me, just mostly yell. Okay, here is, this is coming along. This is an obliterator. Now, I've been talking to you guys about the river basing I'm going to be doing. So the riverbed is like, this is it. This guy is done here with his riverbed, except the resin pour that I'm going to be doing. I'm about to go on a week trip. I'm going to probably wait till I come back to do the resin pour. I've been doing a lot of research on this, and I'm pretty excited. I'm a little nervous. I do have some spare bases that I'm going to start it off on. Obviously that's like never a bad idea, right? Give it a test run. Obviously that's like never a bad idea, right? Give it a test run.
Yeah.
I'll probably have a little bit of, hopefully I'll have a little bit of cat help. At least like on call. I'll have like Kat on call when I go to do this. I'll be like, oh my God, it's leaking all over the place.
What do I do?
And she's gonna be like,
just throw it away. Yeah.
She's like, I don't know, throw it away, do another one. I wouldn't know what to expect you to do. But what I want to show you guys here, as you can see, I've got some tall grass, I've got some kind of moss. I went back, the rocks, when I had gone through the process to do this, the rocks had lost a lot of the gray and became they still were slightly gray, but they were like very brown. Okay. And, the base didn't really tell as much of a story as I would have liked it to. So here we are, and
I think it looks cool.
Yeah.
It already looks like some sort of like marshland sort of thing or whatever. Mm-hmm. I think it'll look even better when you put the water in.
Yeah.
How
deep?
high? Yeah.
Not that deep. If you guys can see, we always talk about our screen being a little dark. The tall green grass that I made here, I want most of that sticking out. So really not that deep. I'm thinking like, who knows how tall.
Just underneath the rocks or something.
Yeah. Some of these, the rocks will be poking up through it a little bit.
Okay.
If that gives you a sense. There's like this bright green moss on the bottom. That will mostly be covered.
Okay.
You'll see the different, you'll see Kat up close. I'll show you one. And you can,
it looks cool. It looks really cool. I am excited to see what you do with it.
I'm excited to see how it comes out. A little nervous. And we can actually jump in. I'll show you guys what I've been making here. If we want to do, I don't know, maybe a zoom?
Okay.
Yeah. Let's see. So, okay. What I've been putting on for tall grass, I made these guys. And what I made these from is static grass sold by Woodland Scenics. And these can be a real pain in the butt to work with. But I think I found a cool way to do it that's really fast or easy. It requires no tools except for your hands. So here's what I have. And this is 12 millimeter static grass. So it's like the tallest it comes in.
The static grass, yeah.
Mm-hmm. This is like the tallest static grass you can find. And I'll start off here today by just making some of these so they have a little bit of time to dry. My solution to making these is really low tech and really almost like Neolithic, if you will.
Okay.
Yeah. So what I've been doing, this is kind of fun, is I just take some of the grass. Well, actually, let's not even do that yet, because we're going to make a bit of a mess here. Those, by the way, could have stayed in the bag, but whatever. Okay. Take some of the grass. Take, like, PVA glue. Put a little bit here.
Put a little bit on, like, a little plate thing? Yeah.
No, it's, a little here.
Yeah,
okay, then
it's off camera, yeah.
Oh, yeah, it's off camera. Sorry, thank you. A little there. Okay. You guys are going to love how unhard this is. Non-hard? Unhard.
Unhard.
Very unhard. So what we're going to do is take some here in my finger, put a little bit in my left hand, and I'm going to give it a twirl here. Give it a couple of twirls to kind of get it grouped up. Okay, then I'm going to do that and put some on my finger, and then I'm just going to grab it and twirl like this, back and forth, and that's it. And then I'm going to set it down, and I'm going to let it dry.
And then do you fan it out after it's dry, or?
Yeah, so you can.
Okay.
Also, this one is particularly unfanned out. You kind of get some nice variance doing it this way. So we'll have another go here. So again, I grab. The more you grab, kind of the better result I think you get. Plus, a lot of it, as you can see, just falls away. So here we'll grab like a nice big clump here this time around. Okay, we just put a little on our finger. That's actually almost too much glue. There you go. And once, twice, back and forth a couple times. And there you go. And this is the end result. So then once this dries, what we're going to do is take a set of clippers, because it's always easier to glue these to the base when they're flush on the bottom. And then this is all going to be like rock hard down here. We're just going to like snip it off.
Oh, okay.
And that's it. So like the tool is like PVA glue and your fingers.
Yeah.
Yeah, they come out pretty good. A little messy, but you can groom them once they're set.
Yeah, well, because it's PVA glue, so it's a little bit more flexible than super glue.
Yeah. And also like cool to run over your fingers, right?
Yeah, and it's easier to take off for sure. I just recently got a bunch of super glue all over my fingers, and that was not fun to take off.
That's exciting. How did that happen? Is that a personal question?
No, we got some like cardboard terrain in, like, you know, those like punch out terrain things, and I was just really curious to see what it would look like. And about 2 hours in, I completely regretted my decision. But at that point, I needed to finish just out of spite. So
sure.
Yeah, you know, as you do.
Exciting.
With terrain, but that was really it. And it just for like the next couple days, I just kept finding spots of like super glue all over like my arms or my hands or something. Yeah.
Yeah. Now we should mention, you guys have noticed that Kat has a non-traditional Hobby Times color robe on here today. At some point, you have mentioned that you did not love the brown robe.
I do not like it, no.
And Rudy Picardo, and we see your super chat here, Rudy. Thank you, and we'll get to yours as well, Super Rudy. Rudy wanted to know where we got the aprons, and so we sent him the link. I sent him the link, and then he was like, "Oh, they have colors other than brown." And I was like, "Oh, I guess they do."
I only see brown.
I didn't actually know that they did. And so he sent us this one for Kat because of your love for pink and the cherry blossom world that you're creating. Mm-hmm. He also sent us some refresher ones. But Rudy, listen, the refresher ones you sent us in brown, we need to wear them off stream a little bit first because we like them to be kind of have some character.
Oh.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. I think mine has character just because it's pink.
Yours has but we have to age the brown ones a little bit.
We gotta weather them.
We gotta weather them a little bit, Rudy, before we wear them. But thank you so much.
But thank you. Yeah, it was definitely a very pleasant surprise.
Very pleasant surprise.
It was really
well,
cool.
I guess I knew it was happening, but I was very happy about it. Thank you so much.
Yeah, thank you. But also thank you, Super Reedy. Hi peeps, Zach. This is basically yours and John's, who's not here, so too bad. Last chance to tell me what model you want, or it's gag gift time. Going to the big new GW in London tomorrow, and it's payday. Dangerous times.
Awesome. Okay, listen, Super. I was telling Kat.
We were just talking about this.
We were just talking about this. Kat apparently knows what's going on here more than I do, and I realize why I don't know what's going on. Since I've started at Titan Studio, which has been about 15 months ago, this is we have had a number of fans who have just been amazing and offered us something similar to this, Super Reedy. And what ends up happening is I only hear from these fans every few months because they're working on things, right? So we had a fan who wanted to kind of make a model that represented each of us on the tabletop, and kind of reached out. And I'm pretty sure I answered that fan that I wanted like a Farseer or something like that. And then there's been a couple others where this has sort of come up. In other words, we are so blessed with awesome fans that like I'm not keeping track of the situation. So when I saw this Super Reedy, I was like, I forget.
Oh, I thought I already answered him or something.
Oh yeah, or I was like, what is this thing? Okay, so I have a couple answers. So what I'm telling him is just a cool model that Super Reedy, who's an awesome painter, is going to paint, has agreed to paint, right? Has taken on, not agreed, really taken on
this project, to paint a model for everyone in the studio.
Which is really amazing.
Which is great, and I did not send him a model. I sent him to a Wikipedia page, so.
Oh, yeah, that sounds right up his alley, what you sent him to. You can tell, maybe you should tell that story real quick.
So we got this message, and it was like, what model do you like? And me being, a master of all Games Workshop knowledge and lore, had no idea what to say. But my last name is Titus, and I know that there is a Captain Titus who is the star of, I want to say the better 40K video games, and I know there's another one coming out. Okay. He is also the star of it as well too. And so I just sent him to the Captain Titus Wikipedia page. I know that there is not a specific model for him, but I would have just been happy with
anything
blue and gold ultramarine with Titus written on the base or something. But he seems to have an idea for what he wants to do, so I was super excited about that.
Yes, Ethereum. Yes, it is you. Thank you. And then there's one more person, Soups and Ethereum, that has contacted us about something similar to this, and it's all amazing. Just overwhelmed with positivity on it. So I'm being that kind of rude person who's like, oh my gosh, so many positive things happen that I confused the three of them and can't remember the situation. So I apologize to all of you. Actually, and when Kat came in today, I was asking her about this, and she said I sent them to the Captain Titus Wikipedia. And first of all, Kat's real full name is Katrin. A lot of people think it's either Catherine or Caitlin or something like that. It's Katrin, right? Which is like German Catlin. It's
Welsh.
Welsh, okay. Yeah. So it's not super common in the U.S. anyway.
No,
right?
but it's very common in England.
Okay.
Yeah.
So I actually thought I sent Soups to
my
the Katrin
page,
Wikipedia. Yeah. I was like, get out of here, Kat. You don't have your own Wikipedia page. So first I thought that, and then I thought maybe since I haven't seen her in a few weeks that she had changed her name, or not changed her name, but decided that she was going to start going by Captain Titus.
Yeah.
Of course, forgetting that Titus was in 40K lore. So. All of that said, none of that is information, Soups, that you really need. But I do have an answer for you. Listen, we've got this Alpha Legion army, and on Saturday, I produced, and on Tuesday, I played the Alpha Legion. This upcoming Saturday, I'll play Alpha Legion again. So it won't be in time for this. Of course, I understand that. But what I really need in my Alpha Legion army is a Cypher. He's super cool. He is super annoying, and he looks really fun. I wouldn't want somebody to try to paint something to match an existing army of mine, like the Alpha Legion. So Cypher's just like awesome for that. He's just, you can paint him however you want.
Oh, is he like a character?
He's a character that is like kind of a good, he's like, can sort of be in the Imperium or the Chaos. He's
okay.
Yeah. It's not exactly sure what's going on with him. He's just like a sneaky guy. Like he wears a big robe. Maybe he was a Dark Angel. People don't really know. The Dark Angels already hate him. So anyway, that's my pick, Cypher. Now you know. And I super appreciate this, Super Reedy, by the way. Very, very, very grateful.
Yeah, it was very surprising. Also, thank you for including the lesser-known people of the Titan Studio, which I've never been on the other channel, and so I can definitely relate to that. But yeah, it was a very pleasant surprise in the chaos and hecticness that has been the past like 2 months for me.
Yeah,
so.
Things have been crazy.
Yeah.
And I forget, are you going to Nova? You're not going to Nova.
I'm
right?
not going to Nova, no.
Okay, you're not.
When is Nova?
September 1.
Okay. Yeah. With all of the traveling and the planning for traveling that has been happening lately, I think I'm done after this weekend for a little bit at least. So, yeah.
Yeah. That's fair. Now, somebody asked earlier, what color am I painting the Alpha Legion? We've actually done a few streams where I kind of went through the airbrush process. I will work on them. You guys will see them if you haven't previously. So I just went ahead and made some of these little tall grass things. Now they have to dry sec. These are the ones I took out of the bag already. But anyway, you saw, kind of easy to make. I don't know. I'm kind of into it.
They look cool.
I got the static grass, and I was like, how am I going to use this? And then I tried the strategy where you put glue on like parchment paper.
Yeah.
And like put little bunches in, and then let that dry. Mm-hmm. Right. Your face is like saying the thing, right? Like, not fun.
No. Well, because it's also like, how are you going to hold them up while they dry? It's not like they immediately dry.
They do sort of stay a little bit, but they don't give this look. This is tall grass I want. They actually do what I think they're supposed to do, which is they sort of like fan out a little bit.
Make like a tuft sort of thing.
Yeah, but so you've used that Static King guy, right? Is that what you're supposed to do?
Yeah, you can. So you can definitely like put down like a layer of static glue and then do like a whole hillside with this stuff.
But have you ever seen people...
You can make tufts with it.
Do the glue dots and then just sprinkle it and then staticking? Yeah,
you just put like little drops on parchment paper.
Okay.
And then, you do your little Static King thing.
Yeah.
And yeah, I've seen Seth make some really cool ones. Like he mixed a lot of like different colors.
Right.
And so it made different colors and different lengths as well too. So it made a really cool natural effect to it. And then he went back and like glued some of the pollen stuff to the ends of it.
To make it look like cattail.
Or something, or just, like give it a little bit more texture than just normal stuff. But yeah, it's cool. But like I said before, my ears are very sensitive.
Oh, that's right.
And so I can hear it, and I don't enjoy it.
That's right.
Very much. But I mean, I'm not the only person who has that complaint. And I've heard just like putting in some headphones or something works just fine. But yeah, definitely first world hobbyist problems.
Yeah.
But it's okay. I don't. It's not a tool that I crank out like every time I do something.
Yeah.
Most of the time it's just like, I'll just buy a pack of Gamer Grass or something. So.
Yeah. Now, folks, I do definitely want to make a call out here about last hobby stream when Megan was on. Last hobby stream, Megan was on, and we had an amazingly generous donation from Megan to get the Smaug model. Yes, we are getting the Smaug model, of course. Just want to clear that up. We will post a short when we actually make the purchase. What tends to happen with higher value YouTube things is that they're held in review for a day, and so the reason, of course, we don't rush out and buy it like right away is if we had bought it and then
it doesn't go through.
Then it didn't go through. Of course, that said. Honestly, Megan just wants to paint Smaug anyway, so she probably would just
we'll probably just get it anyway.
But we will post a short. Actually, might do that tomorrow. I'll be painting at home tomorrow. She'll be there. We might do a short of that tomorrow. And so, yeah, we will definitely have Meg back on. At least we're just trying to think how we should have Meg on to do Smaug. So there's a few options. You guys let me know some thoughts here. And it's Meg and I and the whole studio. We know it's not up to her. It's not up to Meg at all. So, however, she's gonna paint Smaug. It's not up to her. Should we do a marathon? Should we do a few different streams? Should we do a VOD? We're up to ideas. We're feeling things out right now. The interesting thing is that I guess I've not played Middle Earth, whatever it's called, its official name, Middle Earth Battle Game. I forget exactly.
Battle Game Royale. Mm-hmm.
No, that's not what it's called. I don't know exactly what it's called. I've not played it, but I've been told Smaug is just like the whole bad army. So like one player just plays Smaug.
That's it.
Yeah. So I don't know if I'm on the hook for painting like a Rohan army or something, which is something I want to do anyway. Not sure if it's something I'm going to do in the next 6 months. But we will figure something out, of course. We promise, and we will definitely let you know as soon as we buy it, and we'll keep the whole journey documented for you, which is an amazing outpouring of support for Megan and Smaug.
Yeah, no, it was really cool when you sent that screenshot. I was like, what?
I was like, so this happened today. Yeah.
No, it was really cool. It was really cool. Thank you guys. It's just been like a one thing after the other of just like a ton of support, and it's
cool, right?
It's awesome. Yeah, very much appreciated. Also, Ethereum, I saw your message. I'm a big fan of giving two different artists the same prompt and seeing what they do with it. So
now I should say this actually. Soups about John. Kat is, I think, the same way. I think I'm describing at least Kat. She can speak for herself. She's right here. I will speak for John, even though he's not here. John and I are the type of person where, like, if you ask John or I, like, hey, you want this thing? Like, what can I get for you? John and I would be like, oh yeah. And we won't answer because we just like don't want, like, I don't know.
It feels weird, like sort of like you're asking for something.
Yeah. So, like, for example, he doesn't know this. He doesn't know I know, but John and I split the box that was Grey Knights and Thousand Sons, and he bought it, and then he, like, gave me all of them. I was like, oh, here, let me pay you. And he's like, yeah, I don't know how much that was. I was like, can you tell me how much it was? And he's like, yeah. I was like, John, I can also just look it up. He's like, oh, I don't know. I was like, what do you mean you don't know? And he's like, yeah, it's okay. I'm like, John, I'm not just letting you... And I actually don't know if I paid him or not for it. So I probably just owe him a little bit of painting, which is fine. I'll just do some painting for him. But yeah, like I was like, John, it's your direct money. You can ask me to pay you half.
Yeah.
I actually wouldn't have a problem with that. But so John's not going to give you an answer, Soup. So let me give you an answer for John. He definitely wants some kind of Eldar character. Well, I will tell you this. He already has a succubus, but he got pretty excited when he saw My High Gladiatrix for Daughters of Cain. He was like, whoa, I want to make a succubus out of that. So there's one option. Another option would be almost literally any other space elf character you can imagine. He'll probably be pretty happy with. So, failing a direct answer from John, that's my suggestion.
My suggestion for John would be Captain Titus.
a second Captain Titus. I like it.
No, would be, I don't even know what armies he plays.
Mostly space elves. Different types of space elves.
Then
He played, what else?
what's that really cool like bike one, the small little vehicle sort of thing?
The like up there?
Yeah.
We have the Windrunners poster we were sent. To go to Wind Rider.
Yeah.
Any kind of
I think
bike.
that would be cool. You know, the thing that's like staring me down every Wednesday. It's great.
Yeah.
That thing. I think a Windrunner
Yeah.
would be cool.
Definitely. Listen, speaking of favorite models,
Yes.
we decided we would do a top 5 today. As we get underway here, we decided we would do a top 5 of favorite models. And Kat is sort of famously, I think it's okay to dox you a little bit here, not always super knowledgeable about 40K stuff. But you did have some thoughts on 40K vehicles because you like painting vehicles, right?
Yeah.
What is it you like about painting vehicles?
Probably that I can get away with like making a ton of mistakes. I think it's great.
Okay. You feel like you make...
I also feel like I can more easily tell my own story with it than if I were to take like a character or like just a model or something, right?
What about like a monster? Like a big monster model. Is it the size or is it the fact that it's a vehicle?
I think it's the fact that it's a vehicle.
Interesting.
I like weathering a lot.
Oh,
I think that's really it. And like I come up with like a little story of like what this vehicle in particular went through.
Right.
So I think that's what I like the most about it.
Okay. That makes sense. Kind of. Anyway, top 5 favorite vehicles.
Yeah.
You ready for this?
Yeah.
Okay.
Top 5.
Just press 1 and see who it is. Who pops up first here? Okay, it's me.
Wow.
All right, so top 5 favorite 40K vehicles. Here we go. Decided that I would start off with a controversial pick. You guys know how I like to do. This is the Tarox Prime. I actually love this thing. And I even will say, now, by the way, we should also say I think we've done top 5 favorite vehicles, Brett and I, like a year ago. So this for me is like a revised, but I'm pretty sure if we did top 5 vehicles, some of mine will be, but I know this one was on it because I know that there's a third-party model that people put on these that are wheels.
Yeah.
They replace these conveyor belts with wheels.
So like it's a lifted truck sort of look to it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I'm just kind of like, why have a Tarox if you're not you don't have
the square.
the squares? That's what makes the Tarox, right? So for me, I think that's like the most important part of the Tarox. So I love this thing. I love how boxy it looks. Overall, I'm sort of like iffy on Imperial vehicles. They're cool. Kat and I were talking about this before stream. I was saying they're cool. It falls in that category of things I'm glad it exists, but it's not exactly my style.
Fair.
For whatever reason, this thing is like, if I was going to play an Imperial army in 40K, I would definitely, one of my top choices would be like all Scions with these, like just like a bunch of guys in these, hopping out, shooting. It's kind of cool. So that's the Tarox. What do you think of the Tarox, Kat?
I've never seen it before.
You've not seen this?
I don't like it.
Why don't you like it?
I don't like it.
Why not?
I just don't like. Okay, so the wheels are fine. It's whatever, right?
Mm-hmm.
Or the tracks. I get it. It's like the pinched in face of it. I wish it was more boxy.
Okay.
Yeah. I wish the back matched the front or the front
Wait,
matched the
you
back.
just said you hate rhinos, though. So, okay. So your ideal for Imperial vehicle is in between this and a rhino. We've discovered a spectrum.
I don't know about ideal, but the reason why I don't like the rhino is because there's nothing interesting about it.
It's
just a box.
Yeah, it's a box.
This at least has something interesting about it. Like it has weird wheels.
Okay.
No, I don't want the front to like fully match the profile of it. I just want it to not like pinch in.
Got it. I think that's fair. Okay.
Next
is, look, Necron's super hot right now. That means even on the hobby channel, we've got to talk about Necrons. I love this thing. I love and I guess I've always kind of wanted to secretly do a Necron army. That is so these guys, and there's an infantry unit, are part of this Necron group called the Triarchs, and they're like this like governing body of all the Necron dynasties.
Okay.
Because the Necron dynasties all tend to just fight with each other. So there's like this adjudicating governing body of them. That's like their police force among themselves. And this is called a Triarch Stalker. So it's like their vehicle that they use. And then the other guys they have are the Triarch Praetorians. But they're basically like the kind of like, hey, Necrons, like stop arguing with each other type like enforcement force.
And only those guys use these?
Yes, apparently, I'm told. And so I love this thing, and I love the story behind what I just said. Like in general, I think the Triarchs are kind of cool. The Triarch part of the Necron, like background, and yeah, I do love this thing. I remember when this came out. I think it was 2011. I was like, I like did not have the money to just start an army back then. I had my Tau, but I was like, man, Necrons are cool.
Yeah, we were discussing like different Necron vehicles and stuff. Because I have a Necron vehicle on my top 5 as well too. Little foreshadowing. Spoiler.
Yeah, a little foreshadowing. Yeah. Okay, I'm very alien here in my choices. Here's Tau Riptide, only recently a vehicle, but here it is. And I look, I love the Riptide. I love the Tau. Really, we're like back to talking about aesthetics of different 40K factions. And the Tau kind of fall in between like the sleekness of Eldar and the boxiness of the Imperium. And I like that design space. It doesn't look at this thing. Like it looks.
Now what do you mean by recently a vehicle?
Like, it used to just not have that keyword for rules purposes.
Oh, okay.
It was a battle suit. And now they got rid of that as a keyword and it's a vehicle.
Oh, so that's why Knights are vehicles now, and no, Knights have always been vehicles?
I don't know.
Are Dreadnoughts vehicles?
Yes. You're asking kind of the wrong person.
Okay.
Chat will when you click down on chat, they'll like definitely fill you in on this.
Okay.
So yeah, for me, I do love the Riptide. I love how big this thing looks and that it can fly. Like normally you see something this big, like it doesn't feel like it should be able to fly. But
yeah, Tau very much remind me of like Gundam, sort of anime-esque.
I think that's why a lot of people like them.
Yeah.
Not. I've never really been into Gundam, but I just think they're cool. I guess maybe I would like Gundam.
Maybe, I don't know. I mean, there are some like since it's so old. There are some like not cool. Just like I think. Like it's annoying now.
It's like stuff. Yeah.
Yeah.
Sometimes stuff can be hard. Like people like love. We talk about this a lot on the channel. This comes up whenever people try to get Megan and I to watch movies. They're like Conan or something, and we're like we go and we watch it, and we're like guys, we're almost 40. Like, yes, when you're a 12-year-old kid on summer vacation with nothing to do, and this is on cable.
It's got a lot of nostalgia.
This is one thing, but like I have like Hulu, guys. I can watch anything in the world.
Yeah, there's been...
Coincidentally, Conan, I think, was on Hulu. Sorry.
No, there's been a lot of stuff that, like, I didn't watch that when I was a kid, and then, like, everyone's like, oh my god, you need to watch it, and I'm like, I tried. I gave it a good try.
Yeah, I try to be open to things like getting into something in later life, because I don't want to be somebody that doesn't do that. But, like, if I end up, like, not loving Avengers movies because I haven't been watching them my whole life, I think, like, I'm okay with the person I am.
Okay.
Like, I'll be okay. Like, I'll feel like, hey, you know what? It's okay that I didn't like Avengers movies or whatever, any of these Superman-style movies.
I see. Like superhero movies. Yeah.
Okay. Here we go. Love this thing. So I know this one was also on my previous list. This thing is super cool, the Goliath Rock Grinder, because like I love I just in general love this about Gene Stealer cults. I love like the work angle, like the angle that like they've turned a work vehicle into a weapon, right?
Right.
And it's not like any old work vehicle. It's like a FedEx delivery truck, right? it's a rock grinder, so it has the potential to be a problem when you run people over with it, right?
Yeah, it's got very like almost dystopian feel to it.
Exactly. Yeah. Big fan of this guy. All of their vehicles are cool. The Ridge Runner, obviously, I love the dirt bikes they have. Like, how cool! This faction is dirt bikes. Listen, I've never wanted a dirt bike in real life, even though I grew up in rural Pennsylvania, where everyone has a dirt bike. But honestly, I've never wanted one. But I don't know. It's cool to see him as a model. Okay, last but not least is definitely my not leastest favorite vehicle. Maybe not favorite monocle. Yeah, model. But favorite vehicle, monocle. Not my favorite monocle, for sure. Next week we'll do top 5 favorite monocles. I won't be here. What do you think? You and Adrian?
Monocles or monocles?
Monocles. Guys, what do you think? Should Kat and Adrian on next week's Hobby Titans commit to top 5 favorite monocles? Sounds like a yes. Okay, we'll do a poll. Anyway, this is the Hornet, the Asuryani Hornet. I love this thing. I have 3 of these guys. They're just cool. Like, they're tiny. They're super fast. If I could pick one vehicle, I've said this before. It used to be a Tau Piranha. That's still kind of up there. But if I could pick one 40K vehicle to get in and drive,
oh, I see.
I would definitely pick this thing. Now, I would probably crash and die immediately. I'd like put my foot on the gas, and I imagine it'd suddenly be going like 800 miles an hour, and I would just crash into something. But like, oh my gosh, like if I had proper training and like get a little lesson, this would be what I want to, like, look how fun this thing looks.
Yeah, it looks like a Spectre or a Wraith from the Halo video games.
Yes, yeah, and which is like something that honestly kind of drew me, that in general I like that aesthetic in my 40K aliens, is like the sleek, fast, not 40K,
sort of
sci-fi,
futuristic
kind of
technology, like doesn't run on gas, it runs on, I don't know, something else that you've never heard of.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I love this model. Look, that's me. What are your thoughts, Kat? What have you learned? Let's talk. We're going to talk about what we've learned
nothing.
About each other.
I don't think any of this is surprising to me, honestly.
No? Okay,
no.
I definitely was surprised by your top 5. I'll be
really
honest.
okay.
Yeah, I was a little surprised.
Well, let's get into that.
Yeah, let's get into it. Okay, so look, this is a newcomer.
Yes. The moment I saw this, the moment they revealed it, the moment any of this came out, I immediately took the picture and threw it up in our group chat and was like, I need this.
Yeah.
This is mine. I fell in love with it immediately.
What is it that you like about this?
I like the size of it, but I also like the top tank part of it. Like the fork in the front is cool and all. I know a lot of people are really into that. I'm not.
I don't think you have to put it on.
No,
okay.
No, you don't. No, and when I make mine, I will not put it on.
Yeah.
I also think
the fork.
The fork.
Is that what that's called? Can we get click down on chat? I'm very curious to see if you get any skewering for that.
Okay.
No pun intended. That was a real style pun.
Yeah.
The fork on the front of a tank.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
Okay.
So you don't have to put the fork on it. I'm not a big fan of the fork. I know I guess the rake is what a lot of people are calling it. I know a lot of people got really excited about it. I don't really care. I also would prefer the Melta.
The gun.
Yeah, I like that one a lot.
Yeah. I'm by the way, for what's worth, I'm making fun of you, but I'm with you on the so-called fork.
Yeah.
Is the tank wearing the fork or is the fork wearing the tank? Am I right? It's like a little too much.
It's already pretty big as far as like vehicles go in 40K, and I just think that the fork just makes it it's almost like lifting a truck kind of thing.
Or like a spoiler that's
way too big for the vehicle.
Yeah, an after factory.
Yeah,
spoiler.
one that you can use as like a TV dinner tray.
Yeah,
sort
you're
of
like
thing.
like when you're like.
Yeah.
You're like like when you're young. I was gonna say like when you're like 20, 22, and your car is your world, and you're like, you know what?
I'm gonna do everything to this.
It's 2022, but I'm going to add a really awesome aluminum spoiler to my 2006 Honda Accord.
Yeah. I don't know. There's something about it. I just like the shape of it. I can't wait to open mine. I've been holding off for a little bit, but yeah, I just loved it. Immediately I loved it. And so it's not my favorite of all the vehicles, because I did sort of have an order to these, but
they're kind of random then.
No, I know. No. But yeah, and then there's this guy.
Okay.
The Storm
Talon. Yes. This one I do know.
And this is actually like a new recent addition to my love of vehicles. When I was up in Washington opening the new Washington game castle, literally like a less than 10-minute walk from the Kent Washington store is the Kent Games Workshop store. And cool. So we went down there just to say hi and check it out. And they had a built but not painted and not even primed model of this in the window.
Yeah.
And I immediately was like, what is this? I need this. This is amazing.
I'm starting to wonder if we've ever had you like walk over to the other side of Titan's studio. Have you ever like went over and looked at the like 100 and like 50,000 points worth of models we have?
So to be fair, it's very overwhelming on that side of the studio. Like my eyes just kind of glaze over with all the shelves there.
Yeah.
It's really cool and really impressive, but
it's a lot. You're not wrong.
Yeah, I always come here with the purpose, and that purpose is not to
gawk over models.
Look at the models. Yeah.
Fair enough. Not to mention, like, you work at a game store where you're dealing with that, like, all
yeah.
day anyway.
Well, the other thing too is like there's something about just like raw plastic too that like makes me appreciate the sculpts more.
I see. That's fair. Actually, I can appreciate that. Yeah.
So seeing this in the window, it immediately caught my eye, and I immediately bought it, and I took it home with me.
Yeah.
And so that is on my like list of I need to do this, but I just think it's cute.
Yeah, it's
very cute. I didn't expect it to be that cute.
Yeah, it is. I actually love this thing. Now it's sort of funny. I showed you the other way you could build this. You like this one better.
Yes.
But the other one I think is also cool. But I'm with you. I actually like the Storm Talon a little bit better than that one. I think I know it's called the Stormhawk Interceptor, and this is the Storm Talon. But you're right. These are cool. I am actually sort of a big fan of Space Marine vehicles. Again, for whatever reason they don't like feel like something I should be playing. Like it doesn't seem to match me. But like what I like, but I like how they look.
Fair.
Yeah.
Fair. I didn't expect it to be that cute because when you see it, it's really hard to tell how small it is and how like oddly proportioned it is, and just it looks like someone took a Thunder Hawk or something or whatever,
and crunched it,
and just like smushed it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a little guy.
It's cute. Now this
is actually a big one. This is actually quite a big flyer, yeah.
Yeah. What was it? The
Was Bomb Blasta.
Bomb Blasta.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. This was I think probably one of the first 40K vehicles that caught my eye. It might have to do a little bit with the fact that the box art is yellow. And Ork vehicles are just ridiculous.
Like you're into Ork vehicles in general?
Yeah, I like the, like very similar to how you're very into the work vehicles. Like we're just going to take this and turn it into like a war vehicle.
Yeah.
I'm very interested in like just the whole kit bashy nature of Orks in general.
Yeah, the very like scratch built kind of vibe you get from them. The fact that, like you're saying then, like they really lend themselves almost to being kit bashed. And of course, you might actually appreciate this. As someone who doesn't play though, you may not know that they've periodically, and I think it's even in the most recent codex, Orks have this rule where they can have looted versions of other races' vehicles, and you'll see somebody take like a Tau vehicle or an Imperial vehicle, and like it no longer has its hover jets working, so the orcs have like added wheels to it and stuff, but like one of the guns works, and periodically, somebody in chat can maybe let me know where this is currently. I know at one point it was a White Dwarf, and it was like you could pick a vehicle, and then like one of the aspects of the vehicle continues to work, but the rest of them you like probably at the time rolled randomly on a chart, and it was like, oh, this vehicle can no longer. This vehicle's movement is only 6. Like no matter what it used to be, it can only move 6 now or whatever. Like
that's cool.
But it was for modelers to take. For orc modelers, right, and hobbyists to take like an orc vehicle or take like a Tau vehicle or an Imperial vehicle,
cover it in glue and stick it into their bit spin and then shake it out.
More or less, right? But you see some really cool ones out there. I've definitely seen like some devilfish that have been like cut open to be open. Oh, Crusade now special rule, which is like the narrative. I've definitely seen like some. Thank you, Hyde. I've definitely seen some. Like devilfish that have been cut open and are like open top now, and there's like orcs in there. Really cool stuff. They'll take like any vehicle and just turn it like it could be like a flyer. It used to be like a jet, like a super fast jet, and now it's just like on wheels and goes like 6 inches. It's like very cool.
That's pretty cool. Yeah. I like that. Yeah, the Bomb Blasta was probably the first 40K vehicle that caught my eye.
Yeah, this is cool.
No, the first ever Games Workshop model that caught my eye was a ring wraith on a Nazgul.
Oh, sure, yeah.
And that was in a window of a Games Workshop in a mall, long time ago.
Yeah.
Yeah. This guy.
Oh, okay. So you actually were the one who knew what knight this was. I don't know my knights.
So the character is Canis Rex, the little guy standing next to it.
Okay.
But I'm gonna say like 3 or 4 years ago or so, because there used to be a old Knights Warden box that built into 3 different variations.
I think that box still exists.
Yes, but it has been replaced with the Canis Rex box.
Oh, I see. Okay.
So that's why I was immediately like, oh, the Canis Rex thing, and you're like, what? Because in retail side of things, it is the Canis Rex box, and then it just has like Night Warden like on the side of it.
Ah, I see.
But the thing that I liked the most about this one was the actually the knight that I painted for your 40K club.
Oh, right.
Specifically because, and with the addition of it being like Canis Rex specifically, was at the top hatch, you could build it and have it be open, and you had a fully built out, modeled out cockpit.
It's like a diorama, which is like something you're into. Right?
Yeah, and I am very into like adding a sort of like whimsy to my models, and on mostly everything that I finish and paint and make into a thing has a chicken on it.
Yeah,
and so I put a little chicken in it, and it's cute.
I don't know if I told you. I think I might have. So we had this is a few years ago before I was involved with Titan Studio. We had an event that Kat helped me out a lot run. This was at a Game Castle store that we both were lamenting earlier today, out here in the Bay Area that no longer exists. It was huge in Mountain View, and we had an event there. And actually, we gave this away as a prize, and we gave it away to the prize. We had a lot of different prize categories. We gave it away to like the person that we thought. It was like the sportsmanship equivalent, like the most fun person there at the 2-day event. The event was not competitive. It was odd in that it was Brian actually like ran part of it. And it was odd in that it was, or unique. Maybe I shouldn't say odd. That kind of makes it sound
different.
Bad.
Yeah.
Yeah, in that it was like the games were designed to be good. We wanted the games to be good games, but it wasn't like competitive. We weren't tracking scores. We weren't.
It didn't matter who like won.
Yeah, exactly. And we gave this award, and actually, the guy we gave it to obviously is local. Most of the people who attended that event were local because it was the first time we did it, etc. But I saw him at LVO and chatted with him actually. He's a fan of the show, so
that's nice.
We should get a picture. I know somewhere you probably have a picture of it too, as well. I'm guessing. Yeah, we should show a picture of this knight you painted because it's very cool. It's like a lot of yellow and white.
Yeah.
Which is a color combination I'm like super into in general.
Yeah, it's yellow, white, and with a little bit of blue.
I love this color combo.
Yeah, and actually the white is like pearl, so it's
It's that MIG paint.
sparkly. Yeah.
Wasn't it MIG?
No. It was
It wasn't the MIG satin. Okay.
No, I forgot what paint it was, but it was like a metallic pearl.
Okay.
Which didn't initially read unless you were actually holding it, which I liked it a lot.
Yeah.
And the croissant.
Yeah.
I did not know what this was called. I just was like, oh, the croissant.
No, yeah, and the Knight Scythe, the Necron Knight Scythe.
Yeah. I just like it.
This also came out in that 2011 release, which was I feel like one of their craziest releases for the time. Nowadays they have bigger. They don't do as many huge releases. Like this release in 2011 for Necrons was like, oh my god! Like I don't know how anybody who was really into Necrons kept their bank account in check. It was just like crazy.
Necron crazy. Yeah.
But yeah, super cool model.
Now is the stained glass looking dragon looking thing also a Necron model, or is
No, that is for this army. That is a Chaos.
Oh, okay. Okay.
Yeah.
Because it was either that or the croissant, but I think I'm feeling the croissant a little bit more.
Yeah.
It for similar reasons to the reason why you liked the Hornet a lot.
This is the one you want to drive?
This is the one I want to drive.
Oh, and you were like an airplane person.
Yes.
A lot of people don't know this.
Yeah. I was
I didn't know this.
getting really into aeronautical engineering, and I was actually also for a time when I was like in high school getting my private pilot's license.
Oh, interesting.
So yeah, no, I'm super into planes, which I think is the reason why
like three
of these were planes. Yeah, so I just like the croissant. I like the croissant a lot.
The croissant is cool.
I think it's great, but this one's my current favorite. But I think my favorite of all time is the Canis Rex specific.
Oh, the Canis Rex.
Night Warden, mostly just because of the flexibility that you get with the model. So
Yeah.
Fun. I want to go back to.
Oh yeah, we had a super chat from Rudy, right?
Yes,
Yeah.
Rudy Picardo. Happy birthday, Hobby Titans channel. Kat, the cherry blossom apron looks dope. I have been watching Hobby Titans streams all day. Any plans on doing a repair terrain stream? And what are your recommendations for sci-fi audiobooks, GW or otherwise? And that's really funny because we were talking about terrain earlier, but different terrain.
Yeah.
But
repair terrain stream. You know,
I think when things break, it tends to get fixed like almost immediately.
Usually, there is a board I'm actually staring at. It's right down here that we used to use on Titan Studio. That a few months ago I was like, no more. There are too many little like pink foam pieces, and it was Adrian's favorite, so he like kept using it anyway. I was like, no, I'm taking it away. I'm tired of people seeing like the little parts that got broken.
It's looking worn.
It's looking worn. It needs to repair. And there's also like there was enough for the guys here to play, but I've probably told this story before. Like it was being borrowed by my club in that old Mountain View store, and a combination of like 4 or 5 different people destroyed it in this way that made it really frustrating for me because there was no one person I could really yell at other than myself, really, you know?
Yeah.
And that's the worst. So basically, some people had packed it wrong. Then some people had put it up on this cart that we have wrong. Then this guy pulled it out kind of wrong, and it fell, and everything inside of it smashed to pieces. Then people felt bad and fixed it, and that's where the real destruction happened at that point.
Because they didn't fix it.
Because they didn't fix it. They utterly annihilated it.
Yeah.
All these people know who you are. And I'm not mad at any of them, but it's actually kind of a funny and sad tale of how my terrain got utterly destroyed. Anyway, there was so much of it, actually it was like 2 or 3 boxes worth, that there was enough that like when Brian started Tabletop Titans, I was like, hey, look, dude, most of this is still good. I gave it to him, but I haven't given him like all the really cool stuff. Like there's a really big, the Shrine of the Aquila is part of this board, and that's never been on Tabletop Titans. So there's a lot of it that has never been on the channel, and that I need to fix. And yeah, I will, honestly. And Rudy, probably I will sit here on stream and work on it. It's a lot of pink foam cutting. I don't know how, like, would it be weird if I used the table cutter, like, here on the stream?
If we brought it over?
Would it be cool?
I think it'd be interesting.
What if I cut myself? That'd be wild.
Wow.
That would be wild
Yeah.
on stream to see that.
Yeah.
That'd be interesting.
Should plan for that.
Hope you're happy, Rudy. My thumb is, like, cat's like, trying to put my thumb back on.
I do usually have Band-Aids in my bag, so, you know. I don't know how well they would be against a severed thumb, but we could try.
I've like almost never. I think with the wire cutter, I like slightly touched my thumb or finger once.
Well, if it's hot, would it be hot enough to cauterize it immediately, kind of thing?
But then wouldn't it like cauterize? It get stuck in there and have to like pull it back out and recauterize, double cauterize. Like would it go through a thumbnail? Oh,
I don't know. I think we should should test it out.
Yeah, let's just test it out. Let's just see. Let's just know what we're getting ourselves into.
Yeah, I don't think we'd be opposed to like a terrain repair stream. I just don't really think we have a whole lot.
No, I do. But you could work on your terrain while I sit and work on mine. Yeah, we should do that.
Yeah, fair.
Maybe
fair.
soon. Yeah.
We haven't done a terrain stream in a bit, so.
It is true.
Yeah. And what are your recommendations for sci-fi audiobooks?
Do you have any?
I do.
You go. Everybody knows I don't read.
So I'm mainly into like high fantasy stuff, but I've only just recently started getting into some sci-fi. One of my favorite sci-fi book series recently was the Red Rising book series. I've recommended that a couple times on stream now. But it's by Pierce Brown, and I like it a lot. I think it's 6 books in total, but they read as almost like 2 separate trilogies. Not a super huge fan of at least the audiobook version of it, of the second part of the trilogy, mostly just because they added a second narrator, and I don't enjoy that. It feels more like an audio production at that point, and I don't like that. I just want someone to read me a book that has a not annoying voice. And the best part about the Red Rising series, other than the fact that it's a fantastic series, is that it's narrated by one of my favorite narrators, Tim Gerald Reynolds.
Oh my gosh, you know narrators?
Oh yeah. Yeah, I will purposefully look for books that he has narrated.
Wow. So
that I can listen to them, but I won't listen to them back to back, because then I start to like mix up characters and stuff. But
what if he narrates like a nonfiction, like transistor radio repair?
I probably won't listen to that.
You wouldn't take the plunge?
No.
Just because of the book narrator?
No. I like him a lot.
Stamps?
Probably.
Collecting stamps.
Would that just be a commercial? Or?
No, it's he narrates the book, collecting stamp collecting, getting into stamp collecting. Like would you?
No, mostly just because I don't
want to get into stamp collecting.
Understand stamp collecting as a hobby.
Yeah, what don't you understand about stamp collecting? That's a hot take, right, guys? Kat doesn't want to stamp collect.
If you collect stamps, I judge you.
Oh no!
just gonna take a hard stance on this one.
Hard stance on stamp collecting. The stamp collecting community
is outraged. I feel like we need some drama on this channel. I'm gonna start it. It's great.
Now we've got it.
I have an issue with stamp collectors.
Oh, just in general. What's worse, stamp collectors or coin collectors?
Stamp collectors.
Because coins you can at least buy things with.
Yeah.
Stamps are like a currency that you use the existing currency to buy another currency that can only be used for one thing because it's adhesive. Stamps are basically like adhesives. Hey,
yeah, it's just paper.
What if money was adhesive?
What if what if you collected this really fragile, like, media that didn't really mean anything to anybody except for you?
Yeah, like, and like by you and like they've barely updated stamps in the U.S. So it's like, oh, cool, another Elvis stamp. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Which is a very I don't know, timely, I guess, with the new movie coming out. But
oh yeah, there's a new Elvis.
I don't
movie.
know. Anyway, Red Rising would be my number one suggestion for audiobooks.
That's what this was.
It's a good audiobook specifically, and it's a fantastic story. We started like a little book club with some of my employees and I to get us to be more active, and it was a thing of like you can't listen to the book unless you are like doing some sort of like physical activity, whether or not that be like working out or going for a walk or whatever. You can only listen to it.
So you've basically you basically
a million miles. Yeah.
You basically figure out a way to to motivate nerds to exercise.
Yeah, exactly. And so we're actually going to start another one because my employees are asking for another one pretty soon. So I got to find another book. So if any of the rest of you have any suggestions, I'm sure be happy to hear it. I know that there are some Games Workshop audiobooks that are really good. The couple, I guess, samples that I've listened to, not super into it.
Which ones have you listened to?
I was kind of making fun of Seth for a little bit for listening to one of them, but it had to do with the Thunderbolt audiobook.
Because he was making a Thunderbolt diorama, yeah.
Yeah, but it
diorama.
It listened
Sorry,
as a no, it's fine. It listened like a old timey.
You're describing Seth, basically, right? I feel like you're just describing Seth things.
It sort of listened like an old timey radio show. No, I'm sure he is. It's great.
Yeah, that sounds like a Seth thing.
Yeah, so
making fun of Seth for peak Seth sounds pretty. That tracks though.
Yeah.
Look, I've said before
that you don't read.
No, yeah, I have. And it's somewhat true, and it's not because I'm like anti-reading. Like, who would be anti-reading?
Sounds like you are. I mean,
no.
See, if I'm anti-stamps, so what are you anti?
Well, I will say,
right? I think you heard it here first.
We were watching. Actually, I was just joking about this with Meg. Oh my gosh, we talked about Bob's Burgers last week, but I'll just do it again this week. I was just watching an episode where Linda was like, "Hey, what book should I read to the kids?" And Luis was like, "Can you read them TV?" Because I remember liking that a lot as a kid. And that's pretty much my response. Like I don't know, Hulu, Disney Plus. Those are my favorite. But all joking aside, Rudy, I strongly recommend the opening trilogy of the Horus Heresy. Is good. It's like actually really good. I think people who don't even care, like if you just were a fan of sci-fi, you would like it to the extent that it was a New York Times bestseller. Fact, nobody knows what that means. Nobody knows at all what that means.
It just means that
you don't know.
Like your publishing company paid a lot of money for you to get on that list.
Okay.
Yeah.
So maybe that's what it means. I'm gonna stand by. Nobody knows what it means. But it did at least get nominated for a Hugo Award, which is like the sci-fi, or had authors who had Hugo Award-winning authors write it. It had something.
Which actually means something.
Which means something. So I think that the opening trilogy of the Horus Heresy is really cool. And then for me, the other two books I liked most in the Horus Heresy set of Black Library books was Prospero Burns and 1,000 Suns. And of course, those were. Thousand Suns are like my faction, the Horus Heresy, and one of my favorite factions in GW. So of course I'm partial to them, but I do just think that they were cool in general. So Rudy, those would be mine. There are other really cool. The Alpha Legion one is just called Legion, and it's super cool too, and it's really weird. It's really weird. It's like very odd, and it's very cool in a weird way. That's like meta. It feels a little meta. So those are mine. Yeah.
Yeah.
Thanks, Rudy.
Yeah. No, thank you, Rudy. It was great.
Yeah.
Yeah, I love audiobooks, but I'm mainly into like either high fantasy or sort of just like generic fantasy. Not a big sci-fi person, but I'm trying. Mostly just because a lot of sci-fi stuff tends to be harder for me to imagine, I think. Because, you know, it's futuristic stuff, and so it can kind of go either way, which I think is what people like about it. But I like having, like, clear pictures of things in my mind, but, yeah.
Like, it's, like, I guess that makes sense. I'm curious, like, okay, I'm not gonna like make a joke and be like, oh, but you can imagine dragons. Actually, that was a pun. But you could like imagine like these like weird fantasy things. But like, what do you think?
Well, I think mainly it's because like the fantasy genre has so much like if you picture a dragon, like you can picture.
Oh, there's repeating.
Yeah. With the sci-fi stuff, there is repeating like tropes.
Yeah.
But as far as the way like looks go and the way that like technology goes, maybe there is tropes. I don't know. Maybe I'm just like kind of
like,
saying something.
No, it makes sense. So like, for example, elves, right?
Yeah.
Like most fantasy worlds, many fantasy settings and whatever have some degree of elf in them. Mm-hmm. High fantasy, we call that, right? Like that. You don't have that really in like Game of Thrones or whatever, but well, most high fantasy has like some sort of elf or something. And in sci-fi, it tends to just be more like general concepts. Like there's always like a Tyranids or like from StarCraft Zerg style alien.
Yeah.
Or like like xenomorph like alien. There's always like an advanced alien race like Eldar or Tau or.
And it's funny because like as far as like books go, I'm very much like, I want generic fantasy. I want wood elves. I want dragons. I want magic, whatever. Or just like sort of more Game of Thrones-y fantasy where like technology isn't like super advanced, but there's not elves.
Right.
But like with my video games and stuff, I like very futuristic sci-fi stuff. So I don't know. Maybe it really just has to do with being able to visualize the world. I think that's very important to me.
I see.
Now, Games Workshop is great for that because there is a ton of art and stuff. But I don't know. Yeah, it's really like a overwhelming. Like there's so much.
Well, it's sort of interesting you say that. I actually the other day was just doing some research on Reddit, and I was kind of curious what did people think differently, and like what were thoughts from like AOS players compared to 40K players, and like what did different people like? What did people say was a better game? What did people like better? And what were people recommending to get into to each other? Mm-hmm. And I was just searching, just reading some different kind of Reddit, mostly Reddit threads on this topic. And one of the things that really made me go, for me, I really like the AOS rule set currently. I've absolutely loved 40K rule sets in the past, and the current rule set is a little like a lot of the books are a little more like involved than I want them to be, which is just a preference. The new Chaos book is super cool in this regard, in that it's not so much like that. But I've found that I enjoy kind of like the way you can build a lot of people like list building their armies. Yeah. And I actually don't. I kind of do, but I don't love like the nuance. Like I don't care to go in and make sure this guy's got this gun and this guy's got this like this little template on him that gives his unit this. Like I don't like that as much. I understand people like different things in different games, of course, right? And actually I like the two games being different. That said, one of the big things that stuck out to me that people did repeatedly say about what they liked about 40K over AOS was how deep the lore was and how the world has been developed and stuff, right? And a lot of people the AOS world almost like reset, right? Like how it used to be.
Yeah, that's what I don't like about the AOS lore is they kind of essentially like retconned a lot of stuff.
Yeah.
It was just like, no, I don't like the way it's going. Let's throw in a weird psychedelic dragon, bro. Mm-hmm. So.
I mean, I'm into it, but.
Yeah.
I get what they're saying, and the 40K lore really has been. It really is among it's not very well known compared to something obviously like Star Wars, but it is among some of the most developed sci-fi universes I think that are out there.
Fair, yeah. I will agree with you. I think that's a fair statement.
Yeah.
All right. Thank you, Liberty Fires. Just Kat and Zach.
Yeah.
As always, as usual. Thank you so much.
Yeah, thank you, Liberty Fires.
I feel like we should just go Liberty Fires. Yay.
Yeah, thank you so much, Liberty Fires. Very, very appreciative, as always. Kat, how are you doing? Where's your progress here?
Well, it was black, and now it's gray. And now I'm gonna try and highlight individual panels. I was struggling a little bit with my airbrush, which is why I switched it out.
Oh, I see.
So I was getting tired of cleaning it the whole entire time.
Okay.
So I don't know if there's something like in it or...
Is that mine that was just back there? That should be good.
This?
Yeah.
This is the one that I left here.
Oh, you left it. Okay, that one should also be good.
Yeah.
I hope so. We'll find out. I guess I'll be in trouble if it's not.
I hope so. I mean, it seems to...
Yeah,
it
should be okay.
Yeah. Yeah, I know that someone else recommended a specific GW audiobook to me. Personally, I just wish I remembered what it was. So I can look.
There's a few that people really love that I've not read. I've never read. Oh, no, I've read like 2 40K books, and they were both like okay. I'm not sure I found either of them to be like anything crazy special, awesome. But the 30K books actually weirdly, I think, not weirdly, but I felt were a little more like wow. Very wowed by those. Kind of curious how many people. I guess how many people read those, but I honestly, I feel like most of our fans that are in chat that I talk to have read them. Have you read any of this?
No, but I did have a friend who, like, didn't play Warhammer, didn't really like do any tabletop gaming, but was very much into the 40K books.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Was it the Horus Heresy ones, or?
I don't know. I don't know. They showed me a cover or something, and I just saw a Space Marine on it, and
oh, that's like awful.
Yeah. But I thought that was really interesting. Like they didn't play 40K, but consumed all the novels. So.
Yeah, honestly, to me, it is kind of interesting. Obviously, I started playing the game before I read any novels, and I don't really regularly read the novels now. So yeah, kind of interesting. Cool. Okay, well, I am cruising along here. What I'm currently doing.
Let's check and see what you're doing.
Yeah, I'm just like swapping. I'm doing a few different things.
Let's go a little.
I'm doing the bases.
It wants to focus on your lamp. There you go.
There we go. I'm getting these bases looking better, with more detail on them, more grass and the moss. And I also went back, like I said, the rocks had gone a little too brown after kind of my process. So I wanted the rocks to come out and be a little more gray again. The only other thing I think I'm going to add to these before I do the resin pour is probably some skulls. Because why not, right? Like, we need a few little skulls under the water. That's like a cool look. Mm-hmm. So here's this guy. Well, I'll show off one of the venom crawlers. Here's a venom crawler with his new grass coming up. Yeah, I love these guys. One of these you painted.
Yeah, I don't remember which one. Which I guess is a great thing because it blends in.
Yeah. So this guy I'm very excited to pour the resin in, but I'm a little nervous. I'll be honest. So we'll see how it goes. Like I said, I do have a test model prepped for this, but or not test model. I do have a few test bases prepped for this, but we'll see how the whole process goes.
Well, hopefully it goes well.
So what I have to do next is I have to go to like the Tap Plastics or like a local. I have to get like some kind of. Well, actually, I might use the vinyl like sticker sheet we have. I have to make whatever I'm going to use to keep this stuff in. You know what I mean?
So you can use like packaging tape.
I can.
Yeah.
And just have it face the sticky part face out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like you can tape it to the actual base and it should be fine.
No, but I don't want the sticky part facing in, right?
So there's a couple different ways you can do it. You can use packaging tape. I don't really think the stickiness of it would really affect anything.
Okay.
But yeah. There's a couple different things you can do. You can use like vellum sheets and stuff.
Yeah, that's like the vinyl stuff, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I have that. That's what I was planning on using. I'm worried that the packing tape. I'm worried that the sticky side will. Yeah, I don't know.
It shouldn't affect things too badly.
Yeah.
The easy part about the packaging tape is that, one, you can get a lot of it very cheaply. Two, it's pretty flexible, and so, like, you can go around your bases pretty easily.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Yeah, we'll see. I'll probably try that the vinyl-y stuff I have, and see how it goes. Man, that's not pretty sticky. Okay. Guys, one thing that I think I like when we base, one thing I'm kind of into. Kat, you know I talked about this before. I'm like kind of a big fan of like, I don't know. It looks better when things are in little clumps. So you can see I'm kind of doing that. I'm not just like putting stuff randomly. Wherever I have rocks is kind of where I like put the moss and the grass all kind of near each other, as opposed to just like randomly putting stuff all over the place, which is, I think, not a great look.
Yeah, I mean, you gotta have points of interest, and then you gotta have like points of nothing, essentially. Yeah. So your eye travels across the model. Yeah. And it doesn't get like stuck in one place. Right. So no, I agree with you. It also just looks more natural that way.
Yeah. Well, that's like the big one, right? Yeah. Oh no, I guess that's not true. Like looking good is also important.
Yeah, I mean we discussed this, right? Yeah. What would you rather? What do you tend to fall more towards? Looking good or making sure it's like realistic? Yeah. And I think we both fall under like a little bit of both. I care more about the realism. I think you care more about like it looking good.
Definitely.
So, yeah.
Fun. Yeah, I'll put these guys on the glam cam here in a second. And then I'm going to switch to doing a little work on two of the characters that I've been working on, the Master Possession and the Sorcerer, for the Alpha Legion army here. Oops, glue. Oh man, I just super glued a little bit.
Oh no.
Like my hand.
Yeah. I got like thick amounts of super glue on my fingers. I had to like sand it off, and then like
sand it off. Oh, yeah, yeah.
And then like use a bunch of hot water and like slowly peel it off of my fingers.
Fun.
It was very painful. at like certain points because it was just too much. It was a lot. I don't even know how it got all over everything. I think mainly is because I was using super glue to put together something that was cardboard when the instructions very clearly were like, use PVA glue. And I'm like, I don't have that. I have super glue. So I'm going to use this.
Oh my gosh. So you're working on this for, is it a commission or is it just like something you're?
Well, yeah, so it's not mine. And it was a thing where I was expressing to someone that like I needed models to paint. And I wanted to paint a vehicle. I wanted to paint a vehicle really badly, but I didn't want to buy one. And this was before I bought the little plane.
Oh, right.
And it takes me a good like week or so to put something together.
Yeah.
And to get it to the point where I want it, like where I want it, right? Like with the little storm talon, I'm gonna cut the flaps and change it, and like kind of kit bash it out a little bit.
Right.
Because I'm not gonna play with it. It's just a display piece for me.
Right.
And I have a friend who is also friends with John, funnily enough, who has a ton of models, who's been playing 40K for many years, and has a bunch that like he's not using right now because it's not good in the current meta or whatever.
Yeah.
And this was one of them. And
fun.
So yeah. And he gave me complete and utter freedom to do whatever I wanted with it. So I discovered that the Legion of the Damned is a thing, and a very mysterious thing, which gave me even more freedom to do what I wanted with it. We just so happen to have, let's see this. Let's see if I can get in a little bit. We just so happen to have some Night Haunt, like, pieces around.
Yeah.
For a army that someone donated to the store. They're never going to come back and like claim it again. And so I needed to make use out of it. And I did some research on what the Legion of the Damned is. And I thought it'd be really cool to like basically kit bash ghosts, these on here. Like so.
Wait, we can do it over here if you want.
Oh yeah. Well, you're gonna have to hold one of them.
Okay, hold on a sec. Let me. I've got a piece of tall grass that's being a little stubborn.
But the hard thing about these guys, so I looked up a bunch of pictures of them, as you do, and I think the difficult thing about it was the fact that old school 40K art and pictures and paintings of them have them with these like really cheesy like sort of Harley flames painted on them.
Oh, I agree. I'm not the biggest fan of this look. I know what you're talking about.
But I've seen some cool ones. There was one specific one that like really got to me, which was like a Judicator. That had some really cool OSL on it. And then, here we go. Let's get this over here. So probably hold that guy.
So she's going to have them kind of like coming out of the tank.
Yeah.
That's super cool.
Yeah. Let's go with this here. Yeah, there was one Judicator that I liked a lot that had some really cool OSL to him. And he didn't look cheesy, but he did look like he was on fire, which is essentially what the Legion of the Damned are. They're sort of like Ghost Rider type dudes. Doesn't really make a whole lot of sense that they'll be in a vehicle, but like I just wanted to paint a vehicle.
I think they use vehicles though. They don't? No?
Not really. No.
You know more about than I do.
I did read the Wikipedia page, so it didn't seem like they use vehicles, but I don't know. And what was it? there was a really cool, I guess maybe like fan art or something, where one of the guys had like a halo of fire around his head. So I had this extra bit from
that's on the guy's
Black
head.
Templars thing or whatever.
Yeah.
I cut the dude's head off and replaced it with that. So that's essentially what these are going to look like.
Got
it just so happened to be that whoever painted these previously painted them to look like fire, which helped out a lot. But I will repaint them. But
that's okay.
Yeah, it was cool. I liked it a lot. It gave me a lot of freedom to kind of do whatever I wanted with them.
Yeah.
And yeah, the only thing that I'm not loving about it is that the color scheme isn't great.
Like black?
It's black.
It's mostly black. So you're doing them white? It looks like you're doing them, or like light gray or something?
No.
You're going to do them black?
I'm going to do them black. I'm just highlighting it so that it's not
I see. So
like boring.
Okay. So will you then do like an ink over top of this?
No.
You'll go back with black.
I'll go back with this like really dark blue.
Okay.
Black.
Yeah.
And then probably this like grim brown color as well too.
Okay.
Yeah. So it'll be black but not black.
Got it.
But black, but not black, but black, but
Yeah.
not black, but yeah.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah.
As one does.
Well, because a lot of the art that I saw, it almost looked like they were coated in sort of like a petroleum jelly and then set on fire.
Okay.
And so it had
what?
this like.
Wait, what? What are you talking?
It had this weird like bluish flame to red kind of thing.
Oh, okay.
It almost looked like they were like doused in oil kind of thing. I don't know.
Okay. Does anyone know in chat like what is? Well, you read about like what is their story? Like nobody knows their story. Mm-mm. It's just whenever Space Marines are in need, these guys with skull head helmets show up.
There's theories that it's like some lost legion that got lost to the warp, and they were.
Oh well, there's only 2 lost legions.
The Firehawks or something like that.
Oh, maybe a lost chapter.
Chapters, okay, yeah. It was like the Firehawks or Stormhawks or something like that. I think it was a Firehawks, and this is what they are now.
That tracks. That sounds like a chapter name.
Or the Emperor has like allies that are not of this world, kind of thing. But yeah, it's just a bunch of like. There's
like different. It's one of those things where they want there to be like these different theories and stuff.
Yeah.
Hey, listen, I know I'm not going to talk you out of it, and I don't want to, but I actually kind of like the color you have for Legion of the Damned currently. But don't do it. Do black. But it's like, it looks like it could be cool.
I mean, I'm not going to like cover everything that I have.
No,
right
I shouldn't have said anything. Firehawks. Thank you, Vino. Okay, so they weren't like one of the 2 missing legions.
Yeah, chapters, I guess.
Chapters,
yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Because that'd be extra wild as a theory.
So, yeah, but it's just essentially like nobody knows really. And then anytime, it was also another thing of like very convenient, anytime anybody like tries to get any information on them, like there's some sort of thing that prevents them from actually getting close to them, like something happens.
Of course, yeah.
And yeah, so it's just stuff like that of like, hey, there's this really like super overpowered legion that comes and goes.
They're not overpowered, I can tell you. Currently, anyway. I don't know.
In play?
No, I don't think. Well, I've never seen him. I've seen him like in 5th edition or something. I haven't seen him in forever. I'm guessing they still have rules. I don't know where their rules are even. Does anyone in chat know? Like, can you actually play Legion of the Damned? Are there Legion of the Damned rules? Yeah, I legitimately don't know.
Yeah, I don't know either. But yeah, Chris said I can do whatever I wanted with this, so I'm doing whatever I wanted.
So he's gonna get like a Legion of the Damned.
Yeah.
Tank back.
Yeah, well, because the two Space Marine armies that he plays are Blood Angels and Black Templars.
Oh, it'll look good with either of those.
Yeah.
Anyway.
So, I wanted something sort of in the middle, but that was also kind of fun.
Those are like your 2 favorite chapters.
Yeah. So
that worked out like perfect then. I guess that's probably why you asked him.
To be fair, I initially wanted to paint it green as well.
Oh, okay.
Because of all the Horus heresy stuff that was going on.
Oh, like the
like the Horus Sons of Horus.
Color.
Yeah,
That was pretty cool. That is a really cool color scheme. I actually wanted and did a few test models for the studio's Alpha Legion in that color, or closer to that color. I used this Turbidor color called Seafood. You know what that? I guess you know your Turbidor colors. I'm imagining you know your Turbidor colors. Anyway, it's Seafood. It's like a bluish, greenish gray.
Okay, that's what I was imagining. Yeah.
And the guys didn't like it. They were like, it doesn't look like Alpha Legion. I was like, oh, okay. But then when I found out, when Andrew Whitehead, the guy whose Night Lords we borrowed, showed me his process for them, I was like, oh, I think I can do that with the Alpha Legion. It'll look cool. And they, Minotaur makes this color that's like exactly the Alpha Legion color.
The
plasma fluid.
Yeah.
So it was a pretty good fit. So I was like, all right, I guess I'll just do them right. But I did actually sort of want the Alpha Legion to be less blue than we have here and a little more green.
Yeah, and I think original Sons of Horus are sort of like a almost teal green color as well.
Yeah.
And I wanted to do like a drab green color. But then I don't know, I was just talking with Seth and with Chris and seeing what I could do. He totally told me that he wasn't going to use this. And so that I could do whatever I wanted with it.
Yeah.
And he just wanted a cool model.
Right.
But I don't know. Rules change all the time. Maybe eventually he'll want to use it.
Yes.
So
that will happen.
Yeah.
Almost inevitably.
Yeah. So anyway.
Yeah.
Thank you, Meg.
Oh, we did have a super chat from Meg.
We haven't heard Kat's top 3, top 5s.
Yeah, so when Meg was on the stream last week, we had some interesting super chats come in. And one of them was from Base Dorothy, who asked that we do our... So Liberty Fires has been on this kick. This is actually, the super chat he just did was sort of an old school Liberty Fires style that you're used to.
Yeah.
But in the 2 weeks that you've been gone, he has sort of switched to doing these super chats where he makes people do these lists. He's like, top 5 favorite movies. Or sometimes they're easy like that, and sometimes they're hard like...
That's not an easy thing. Yeah, okay.
Okay, sometimes they're harder like, oh my gosh, I can't remember. What has been like a more crazy top 5 that Liberty Fires has requested? Sometimes they're hard. They're like specific, like top 5 Rutger Hauer movies or something like that.
Yeah, I would not know that. Yeah.
Something crazy. Top 3 trains he did recently last week. So anyway, Base Dorothy then sent in a super chat that was top 3 top 5s. So in this situation, you have to name your top 3 top 5s.
Of what?
Well,
anything?
That's it. That's the.
It's up to my interpretation.
That's what makes it hard. Well, I don't know that's up to your interpretation. It's just not easy. Yeah, George, we think like locomotives, but we don't know what he meant by top 3 trains. That's what I did. Yeah, it was hard.
Top 3, top 5.
Yeah, you have a top 3, top 5s. Well, Liberty Fires. Excuse me, folks. Liberty Fires did super chat, so you know we should get him something.
Well, the first top 5 I did,
and then also Meg super chatted with a specific request.
Yeah,
so you really actually have to. It's not optional.
That's fair. We are contractually obligated. So my first top 5 was like top 5 red. So I would say that's my number 1 top 5.
Top 5, what's that?
Reds.
Oh, top 5 Reds. We did do that. That's right.
That was the first one that I did when I was first on Hobby Titan. So I guess we'll be sappy and nostalgic there.
Okay. By the way, I'm not. You have some time to think. You don't have to feel obligated to do it right now.
No, I've been in like another Game of Thrones kick.
Yeah.
So like I've been watching a lot of like top 5. I don't know, like Sansa moments, right?
Oh, I see.
So I would say top 5 Sansa. Right?
Okay.
Yeah.
Now, have you previously seen Game of Thrones?
Yes.
Okay, you're rewatching it?
No, I just like watching clips.
You're just watching.
I don't know why. I think it just randomly came up on like my YouTube algorithm one day, and I was like, yeah, I will click on this and make it worse.
And then now you're watching a bunch of Game of Thrones stuff. Yeah.
Yeah. Now it's just a bunch of Game of Thrones stuff that's coming up. So.
Interesting. Yeah. Well. Game of Thrones. What a time. What a time to be alive.
I have like distinct memories of watching it like the moment episodes came out as well too. And I very rarely do that for shows.
Yeah.
I think the most recent show that I did that for was Euphoria. But I wasn't doing like watch parties for Euphoria like I was with Game of Thrones.
Yeah. It was wild. It was something. I don't know how to. Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah.
Game of Thrones is like this kind of weird thing now, right? You kind of like.
Well, it I think left a sour taste in a lot of people's mouths.
Yeah.
So. Okay, so my last top 5.
Yeah.
Gosh.
It's hard, right? How do you like?
How?
Yeah, it got a little off the rails last week, but I did like it.
No, it's great. I like it when that happens every once in a while. Also, it's better when I'm not here, and this is really hard. Gosh.
Yeah, it's listen. Don't worry.
I'm gonna do top 5 trains because that one was weird.
Oh man,
I like it.
Top 5 trains.
I like it. Top 5 stamps.
Top 5 stamps. Mm-hmm. Yeah, top 5 stamps is pretty good. Do you know your top 5 stamps? Actually, just out of curiosity.
I don't know, like the forever stamp. I think that one's pretty good.
Which one? There's been more than one.
Just like the one.
Nope.
How about the Charlie Brown Christmas ones? Those ones are nice.
Okay, Charlie Brown Christmas stamps here for Kat. Yeah, I don't know my top 5 favorite stamps. Look, I hope we didn't upset anybody with our stamp collecting takes. They were really Kat.
No, I really want to upset people.
They were really Kat stamp collecting
We need some
takes.
controversy on this
Yeah,
channel.
but I will say that I don't disagree with her on this. I don't get it. Do people still collect stamps?
I'm pretty sure.
No, maybe we should.
Well, I know with stamps.com.
I was gonna say maybe we should be careful, but I was like, no, no, we shouldn't.
I know with the creation of stamps.com, probably collecting stamps has made things easier.
You actually know a lot about this. Is there a story here?
Well, I feel like hating something out of ignorance, like I don't like that. So I need to know a lot about stamps in order to not like them.
Oh, that's sort of like why I love MLMs.
Yeah.
That's not why I don't like MLMs, but I read about them all the time.
It's like murder podcasts. Yeah. I don't like murder, and so I just listen to murder podcasts.
Do you think that you sometimes I wonder, do you think you might wake up one day and realize you're a stamp collector? Because you spent too much time
researching?
Yeah.
No.
Yeah, I don't think that's a real thing that happens. I was reading an article about this the other day.
About stamp collecting?
No, it was about a different issue that people, this guy's friends are worried he was going to do that. He's like, yeah, I'm not going to do that, right? But, you don't think you might just, pick up a stamp book just to see what it's all about? how's this thing work? And the next thing you might like.
Oh, like when you start saying things like lit or whatever to like make fun of the kids, and then that then becomes part of your vocabulary.
Maybe, or like you're not really trying to, like you just want to know what's going on with the stamps.
The world, yep. Mm-hmm.
And you're like, okay, well, like one of the ways I could further learn to hate this more is if I actually picked up some stamps.
If I went to the underground stamp world and like really...
Why is it underground? Why is the stamp world underground? What are they doing?
I feel like everything has some sort of like weird underground part of it, right?
You go right there. You don't do any. You skip on normal stamps. You go straight to underground stamp collecting.
Yeah,
okay.
Yeah. I need like as in depth as possible, as quickly as possible, because I don't like it.
Is that in depth? Is the most in depth way to get into stamps to go into underground stamps?
Yeah.
Okay.
With like bootleg stamps.
I also just wonder if there's such a thing as bootleg stamps. Oh, you're just like immediately getting interesting.
Yeah. Yeah. It's great.
This is guys, look. I get a lot of flack for being a weirdo. But
I also was telling you that I haven't had a day off in like almost 2 months now.
Yeah.
So this is, yeah.
I get on these kicks. I'll confess this. I do get on these kicks. So first of all, Meg and I will get on these kicks together where we get on to like these really dark, twisted things. But they're not dark and twisted in this like adult type way. They're like dark and twisted in like just like a fascination with something insane and extreme.
Uh-huh.
So like just like previous ones have been like people trying to climb insane mountains.
Okay.
Bodies left on Everest, this kind of stuff.
So it's like documentaries on Netflix and HBO kind of thing?
Sometimes those can help start it.
Okay.
Okay, and then we'll like read Wikipedia a lot about it.
Yeah.
But those can definitely help start it. For a while we were reading about first it starts with like Everest stuff, but then like Everest is like old, like that's low level.
That's a generic mountain.
That's like low level stuff. Like Everest is cool, got it. Huh? That's not hipster enough for us. So then we'll start reading about like actually like Annapurna has like the highest death rate, or like K2 is like really the one mountaineers like say is scary, and like then you like start reading those. But
so
cool.
Everest is like the tourist trap, and like
Kind
these other
of,
ones are, yeah.
But I did read this guy's really cool, like, because how often do we just read like Wikipedia? But then like I read this guy's like blog that he wrote, this whole blog about climbing Everest. It was actually really cool. It took me like 3 days to read all of it.
So you won't read beautiful works of fiction, aka books, and or nonfiction, whatever you want to do.
No, just
but you
TV.
will read Wikipedia page after Wikipedia page.
Yeah, or people's weird blogs.
Over people dying on mountains.
No, not people. It wasn't just people dying
Bodies
on
on mountains specifically.
Okay, it wasn't just that. It was just this in general, right? And no, I don't know. I should read more fiction, but I just watch TV. Like, what's the difference, really? Like, I don't know. There's cool movies.
There are cool movies, and sometimes they make movies out of books.
Yeah, and I like those. Like, those are the types of movies I like. Like, these guys always try to get me to watch Avengers and Marvel. I'm like, guys, I'm just gonna watch like a.
Just read the book.
Read the book for Avengers or Marvel? Do they make those?
They're called comics.
Yeah, I know. So I guess I feel like I don't know. I don't know why I don't read fiction. Maybe I should read fiction more.
Fair.
Yeah, but I'm not going to.
Okay.
Anyway, I can't remember exactly what I was saying, if I'm honest.
Mm-hmm.
Like, yeah, I don't think anyone cares.
I like this stamp theory.
The stamp thing. That's right. We're talking about stamps.
Yeah.
So, I guess I would love to know more about the stamp world. But anyway,
so if any of you guys
shots
are
fired.
in the underground stamp world,
not a thing.
I'm looking for an invitation because I know that you can only get it.
Okay. Underground stamp world, not a thing.
You have to be invited. Someone has to bring you. So I get that you're like skeptical over whether or not this is a thing. I'm pretty sure this is a thing.
The underground stamp world. Just like, what will they do? What will they have?
I don't know, like the Declaration of Independence version of a stamp, right? Like something, right? Like Nicolas Cage is there.
Okay. Yeah. I don't know. My takeaway here is that Kat knows more about stamp collecting that she's leading on. Oh my God, the Claven. I read the novelization of the Avengers movie. Oh my God, that's so funny. I read when I was in 5th grade. I was so obsessed with Jurassic Park that I ordered from Scholastic the novelization of Jurassic Park.
The movie.
The movie. I'd already actually tried to read the actual novel as a 5th grader because all my friends were doing it, and we all thought we could actually do that.
Yeah.
As 5th graders in like a really bad school district, in the middle of nowhere, and of course we couldn't. We were all like, "Oh yeah, I get what's going on in this book."
Super, yeah.
I know. And we didn't. So then, after I saw the movie, I read this, and I was reading it, and then I was reading it in the bathtub, and I dropped it.
Oh no!
And then I remember I dropped it, and I was like, you know what? This wasn't really as cool as the movie anyway.
Oh, you didn't then immediately fish it out and try to dry each page individually?
I think I did for a second, and then I was like,
this isn't worth it.
I don't care.
And then this is where your hatred of books started.
Yeah, I was just like, you know what, the movie was better.
Really, honestly, you just don't like that.
I'll just wait for the VHS to come out.
The lack of hydrophobia with books. You just not into it.
Yeah. Interesting. Okay, let's see. How are we doing on time? I'm kind of trying to decide what I want to do for the last little chunk of time here. Oh, let's do this. I do want to show where these guys are, where some folks are looking that are. Actually, there's still a little bit more. I feel like there's like always work left to do on Chaos models, but I will put the other Blitz and the Venom Crawler on the Glam Cam. Look, I'm gonna definitely do the resin thing, folks, but I'm kind of liking the way it's looking just as the riverbed. But the resin is just going to be like totally wild. I'm going to pull out of the view here a little bit. Okay, should be good.
Yeah.
Okay, so there we go. So looking pretty cool. I'm happy with the way these bases are coming out for sure. I'm really excited to do, like I said, the resin pour, but I'll have to wait. I won't be here next week. It's going to be a Kat and Adrian show.
Maybe, yeah.
Maybe.
Yeah.
I hope so.
We'll see.
No, well, there'll be some kind of show from somebody.
I'm gonna bring my stamp collection.
Oh yeah, it's gonna be a tour through stamps.
Yeah.
Of the world. Okay, so that's them so far. Oh, and I did finish. Wow, I need to do a little OSL glow effect on him. I don't know what kind of glow color I should. What glow color should be on this army?
Where are you putting the glow?
Well, here it's going to be on his hammer. And actually, I'm not exactly sure what I'm.
How opposed are you to like
not doing
orange?
Orange was something I was definitely thinking.
Okay.
So hearing you say it, it's making me think. Let's do orange. But I'm also not sure if I want to do it on this hammer right now. But I also think I need to. Okay, let's do it.
I think orange would be.
Oh, I already put the grass on though. Well, maybe that's okay.
Well, it's gonna glow onto the grass, right?
Which is good, right? Yeah. Titanium white. Where is my titanium white? I have like a million of them. Oh, there we go. And orange. I'll grab some oranges in a sec. How's your black looking? Can we get a zoom in on it?
Sure, yeah. I'll put it on the glam cam.
Okay. Oh, you can just like smash all those guys out of the way.
Okay, I'll sweep them onto the floor. It's great.
You'll apex predator them.
You know, as tragic as that was, and as good as he is, I really enjoyed all of the GIFs and the videos that came out of it. It was great. It was fantastic. Yeah,
it was pretty amazing. Big thanks to Michael Cody again for capturing that area. Oh yeah, okay. So talked about what happens What happens next?
So I gotta finish priming the barrels and stuff. I just was holding it there and I forgot. But what I really need to do at a certain point here, and probably coming up pretty soon, is glue that top part down and put in the other gun as well too, because I want a glow effect around all of the spirit hosts that I'm putting in. And probably figure out a little bit more of like where I want some fire to come out of. But I can't do that with, you know, the top turret piece being like separate. So I think I have enough like highlighting on the panels as far as like doing things separately. I'm gonna glue this down. I need to figure out a position that I like it in, and then I'll glue the spirit hosts in, and then I think I'm probably gonna do that right now. I'm gonna glue it down. I just need to figure out what I like about it. Because the thing that, and I don't know if this was like a thing where maybe it was built this way and it didn't have to be built this way. But the guy on top,
the shooty guy, that guy, the real guy?
Yeah.
The spirit host guy? Okay.
Yeah. I don't like how his gun barrel is pointing just completely straight forward. It's not even like perfectly straightforward. If it's perfectly straightforward, I think I'd be okay with it. But it's not, and it bothers me, but I'd have to break it probably in an irreparable way in order to change that. So I'm not gonna do that. But this, like, I don't know, what is this one called? This bigger one?
No clue.
Okay. This bigger one has this like view thing on it, and it goes up further than what it goes up to.
I see.
But it hits this.
Oh.
Yeah. And
is it a Vanquisher something, folks?
something. I don't know. But
I don't know Imperial stuff. I know. I really, it's weird, but
I don't like how he's facing wherever these guns are facing, because I think that's just a little too much. Like, you're already going to shoot it with whatever's coming out of this.
Right.
You probably don't need to shoot it with this as well, too. I think this top turret gun is maybe, I don't know, maybe. But as far as the story goes.
No, that's the story.
As far as the story of this tank goes, in my mind, and the way that this works is this little guy here is meant to like keep smaller dudes off of the tank, right?
Look,
while the big tank gun is shooting something else.
That's what makes sense, but
that's what I want it to be.
In 40K.
In my head.
By the way, just so you know, there's also traditionally there would be probably another Marine with a pistol shooting at the same thing, and yeah, and both in rules and in heavy laser destroyer.
Fair.
You guys could have put anything up there, by the way, and we would have.
I would have believed you immediately.
Thank you, by the way, Ogre Barbarian. Hey, Titans, what do you consider the pile of shame? Is it unassembled, unpainted, unbased? Curious what other interpretations there are. Oh, this is a good question. Pile of shame. What do you consider the pile of shame?
See, I'm not ashamed of anything. But I guess typical pile of shame stuff would be unbuilt, really.
Bought but unbuilt?
Unbuilt, still in the box.
Because it makes you look like you lack impulse control.
Yes.
Like, you bought that, but you didn't think about the fact that you can't do it.
Maybe other people would be ashamed of that. Honestly, I think you can do whatever you want to do. But yeah, I would say unbuilt. Because, like, there is a high amount of effort that goes into building. So I don't think you should be ashamed of that. I don't think you should be ashamed of anything, but.
Unbuilt. Interesting.
What do you think?
I'm thinking about this question. I have a lot of thoughts on this. I think it's a personal thing.
Yeah.
Of course, right? That's what you're saying. Especially now that I'm doing this as my job, I think almost everything at home or here in the studio that I've either bought with mostly my money as the stuff at home, and I don't think there's anything here in the studio I've bought. I know that it will get assembled and used.
Okay.
And I know that it will eventually turn into what it needs to turn into.
Right.
So it doesn't shame me. It doesn't stress me. I'm trying to think what is the oldest thing I have in packaging right now. How long ago did I buy it? And have not yet used it.
Yeah.
I know people are going to have stories like 10 years. It's nothing like that for me. I don't know, though, off the top of my head. It might be, I don't know, like completely unopened.
I guess my next question for you, right, would be, do you ever buy anything just because you like it? Or do you buy something with the purpose of putting it into an army?
Always, yeah.
Okay.
I never buy something just because I like it. So there's that.
Yeah, would not be me.
Right, yeah. So there's that. So now what I would say, and I've never bought a model that I've just been like, cool, I can't possibly use this in my army, any of my armies, but I want to paint it up or whatever. I've never done that. You have paint in here, right?
Yes, I do.
So I would never do that. But I do jump at the chance to like paint something kind of funky, like I painted an Amble, which is like this little monster in the 40K universe that could go in any army a few years back. That was very fun. So I have done that. But no, I think for me, what I hate is when I have to abandon a project because it now takes up space. Like especially if it's assembled and is started. So for me, the shame comes from things that are in, like, see where your thing is right there? Like, if that now got put in a box for, like, a year.
I see.
That type of stuff is what kind of stresses me out. Yeah.
Why would you abandon a project, I guess, would be.
Well,
I guess now it would make more sense, right? Because, like, maybe the studio needs something, like, specific or whatever, but, like, previously
I abandoned... Horus Heresy. There was a previous version of Horus Heresy, and I had this army. I had a Thousand Suns army, and I was in the middle of painting like one of their kind of cool special Forge World units that only they had, and I was somewhat far along. I was painting that army without an airbrush, but I the way I painted them, I started airbrushing while I was painting that army, and the way I painted them was with Mephiston Red spray. So I sort of like an airbrush. I rattle canned a base coat.
Right.
Okay, and then I rattle canned my base coats, and then I did detail brushwork so that it looked smooth.
I see.
Although it wasn't very well, highlighted or anything. And two things happened. I like 8th edition 40K came out, and I played my first game, and after doing that, I was like, I don't really like the Horus Heresy rules anymore. Like I don't want to play this game anymore, and like most people in my play circle did the same.
I see.
So we stopped playing that game. And then also I became a better painter. But I feel kind of stuck using an old process to paint this army.
Because that's what you were previously using
That's
before.
What the rest of the army was. And I could go back and...
shoot.
Do you need it to stick there?
No, I need like a toothpick or something or whatever. Because like there's only like this little bit of surface area that it will stick to.
Toothpick.
And it's hard for me to get into it. I got it.
Yeah. So yeah, I think I would say
that would be your shame thing is abandoning a project.
Abandoning a project. Now, like you're saying, since being here at the studio, unfortunately, I have to abandon projects more often. But on the plus side, I typically can come back to them quicker.
Right.
Since this is like what we're doing, right? So I can typically put a project away for like 3 weeks and then come back to it and finish it. But those things always do stress me out. I hate the space they take up. I hate taking because it feels like it took up a bunch of space and time. So I end up taking, excuse me, I don't know, a few $100s worth of models. I don't know how I value my own time, but a few $1,000s worth of my time. Mm-hmm. But who cares about the monetary value? It's time, right? All this time I put into it. I seal it up in a box. And then the worst part is it takes up space in the studio. It just sits there. And I'm like, ugh. So that's kind of what drives me nuts. Yeah.
Yeah, I can understand that. I'm sure, because there's been projects that I've started and stopped because there was one that I dropped and it shattered a little bit of it, and I just was going through a really hard time, and it was kind of like salt in the wound.
It's like a break. Yeah. It's just final.
Of of course that happened right now. That's exactly what I needed. That's definitely something that will make me super happy.
I'm imagining the scene in that movie Office Space where he's smashing the printer. Yeah, do that, just that, do that. That's what I want you to do.
So that definitely sucked. But there's been things that I will buy on impulse, or I have this really cool idea for this, but I don't yet know how to do it. So let me start this smaller project that's sort of somewhat similar, so I can practice this one thing, or get to know this one technique or whatever, and then I'll get really into doing this small practice thing, and I'll build it up to this whole competition piece. And then I've kind of gotten that out of my system, and then I won't go back to this other piece or something, or I'll intimidate myself to the point of I won't do that. I'm not ready for that yet. I'm not ready for that. And then who knows if and when I'll ever be ready for something. So I have a lot of unbuilt stuff. So there's that, but.
Yeah, I think that's the traditional definition of it. I appreciate the philosophical component of what is a pile of shame, and I think the traditional thought process is it indicates that you are this person that will take you and your family's hard-earned money and buy expensive products for it, and then put them in a closet and do nothing with them.
Yeah, the only person.
Years.
Yeah, the only person I support is myself, and so it doesn't matter, right? The onus is on me, and it only affects me.
Right, but there's a second component to it of impulse control. What is wrong with me? What? Maybe you just don't.
No.
You don't have that.
Yeah.
So there you go. Kat is very at peace.
Yeah.
Unless you're in the stamp community. Then she's coming for you.
I have some words. There's some strong words. So.
I can't wait to see memes of Kat destroying people's stamp collections. Please.
It'd be great.
Really, I cannot wait to see these memes. Ogre Barbarian, thank you for your support as always. Great question. Actually, kind of a thinker.
Ooh, thanks, Sean. I hate this. First Tabletop Titans, then Hobby Titans, next Stamp Titans, hosted by Kat, of course.
Stamp Titans. Listen, I definitely want to. This is my new rabbit hole. Tonight, I'm going to research how I just want to go down a stamp collecting rabbit hole. I want to see what is the community like. Because look, every
how
hobby,
deep is the underground? Because it definitely exists.
Is there a wargaming underground?
Yeah, it's all the bootleg models and stuff like that, right?
Oh, yeah. China Cast, which just got shut down, which I'm kind of into.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, okay. So you're saying not a dark circle, not a dark,
not
part
a
of the
cult looking
check out this stamp. It's
building
Jack
with
the Ripper slitting a banker's throat.
Yeah, building with no windows.
They only made 10 of these.
Yeah,
but they were worth £1 million.
Yeah. Not like that. I just meant
symbol. stamp. Like,
yeah.
This was made by the aliens. You can you could mail a letter to Mars with this.
Like there's a Alibaba of stamps.
Like Wish.
Yeah.
Or like Wish, like yeah. Bootleg stamps. Okay.
Yeah.
Our brains went different places there. That's
No,
because you work
I'm
in
into that.
retail. You
I'm
work in
into that.
retail, so you're like
Yeah.
yeah, and I am psychotic, so we just went different places.
No, but I'm into that now. Now I'm gonna say that definitely exists.
Wait, which version?
Is your underground stamp thing. Like you have to have a password, you know, you gotta like show up, like go to City Hall wearing a like white shirt.
Just like awful old stamps. I'm not gonna make any bad jokes, but like just like an old stamp that's like this commemorates like the 100th anniversary of dog fighting in England. Like just bad stamps like that. Do you think it would just be like
anti? Oh.
It's like celebration of just awful things, like old stamps for like old timey stamps. Is that the underground?
No,
stamp?
I don't like that. I don't like.
You don't think it would be that?
No. See, I don't like stamps, but I don't think stamps are evil. Just personally.
You just think this is all right. Stamps are not evil. You heard it here first, folks. Listen, Sean, never say never.
Well, just like how you have a traumatic like childhood thing of like you dropping your book in the bathtub, and that's why you've
That's
never.
not traumatic. I literally didn't care when it happened, and I do not care now.
I don't know. I feel like you're suppressing.
I also left. I also remember it triggered this other memory. I was not really a good student because like it was like, hey, do your homework. I was like, I'm at home. I'm gonna like play. I'm a kid.
That's fair. I don't like homework.
Yeah, I'm not gonna do homework. So I like never did my homework. But one time I was like doing homework. I was like really young, and I had like this. There used to be books called like language books. I had like a language book. It was called this class was called language, but it was like English, right?
Oh, was it like social studies almost?
I guess.
Yeah.
I don't know what that means. Anyway, I was like, I had this book, and I was playing. I grew up in my backyard. These giant corn silo feed mills, and I was playing in them because what we would do is just walk around and just play in those. We probably shouldn't have been doing that.
I don't think so. Yeah.
And there were just dead rats everywhere.
It sounds like it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And we would play in those. And anyway, I left my language book up there, and it rained like the next day, and my language book like grew like 4 times in size from absorbing all the water. And my parents had to pay like $12 for me to get a new language book.
12.
Something like that. Something
12.
stupid.
That's ridiculous because one time I lost like a school textbook.
Yeah.
And I couldn't go on the like end of the year field trip unless I paid back, you know, this, right? Mm-hmm. I think it was like $70 or $80.
Well, okay, so a couple things. Was that high school?
No, it was middle school.
Oh, okay. Okay, so middle school for you, this is like 15 years later. You grew up here in one of the most expensive parts of the world. The schools here are some of the best schools. The public schools here are some of the best public schools, frankly, in the world. I don't know that yours necessarily was, but many of them. Mm-hmm. I grew up the book was probably from the late 70s at the time, right? Like it was.
Yeah, I feel like so was that book as well too, but.
Your book?
Yeah. Was your book like a hardback?
Yeah, it was like this. It was like maybe a little bigger than this. It was like purple. I remember exactly what it looked like. It said language on the top of it. Yeah.
Interesting.
Okay, before we get to this next super chat, I'm going to put my Chaos Lord with his newly minted glow axe. I also touched up a few other details on him. And I'm super excited to get, this is like the leader of this army. So it's always kind of cool when you get this guy done in any army. And I'm excited to get the resin painted, the resin poured on his base. So he's up a little higher, so the resin won't go up too high on this model.
Yeah.
It's like he'll be on the coast.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I like it. I think the orange
It helped.
is really cool because like the blue turquoise green.
It's a good. It's
just a really good.
Yeah, now I
balance.
need to find a place to put it on this guy. More of my models now need this orange. I've decided.
It's almost like contrast is like really good.
It is.
So yeah, no, it looks cool.
Is this Michael Cody?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, wait. Is the one above the stamp one?
Yes.
Yeah, the stamp one. Okay, yeah, Sean, stamp Titans coming soon. Yeah, there's a lot of expansions planned for the Titans studio. We have like, shouldn't really share this information, but we have like this private Dominion Titans club where several of us play the game Dominion. We actually haven't had a Dominion Titans meeting in a while, but we just get together and play Dominion, which is like a deck builder, and we.
Oh, like the card game, Dominion. Oh, okay.
What do you think I was meant?
I don't know. I don't know. There's so many games called Dominion.
Oh, okay.
So yeah, I was just like, I thought maybe this was like the founders of Titans sort of thing, and
no, it sounds terrifying.
Yeah.
If it's not like explicitly stated, I guess that it's a game. No, it's the game, right? So look, stamp Titan sounds good.
we'll put it on the board.
We'll put it on the board for
Yeah.
sure. Thank you, Michael Cody. I'm working on my new Deathwing, and with my headphones on, I can't tell where my airbrushing begins and Zach's ends. I've never been more confused. Actually, mostly today, Michael Cody, it's cat airbrushing.
Yeah.
I've done very little airbrushing today so far. And I'm not going to do airbrushing right now. I almost just started airbrushing because Michael Cody was talking about it. I bet that is weird, though, Michael Cody. Megan, as mentioned in last week's stream, has a podcast, and it's called Not Quite Dead. Definitely check it out if you're a horror movie fan. And they have like 1 million episodes, so if you need like lots to listen to, they have like 1 million episodes. So she will be like editing an episode in our house.
Oh, and you're not. You think
and
that
I'll
she's
hear her,
talking?
and like sometimes usually I can, but every now and then something happens. The sound goes a certain way, and I can't tell if it's like actually her. But then I'll hear like our friend Kate, who she does it with, talking, who's in Colorado, and I'm like, oh, that's not. That's not.
Yeah.
That's not the real Megan.
Well, there has been a couple times because I do watch these streams back, unlike somebody. Mostly just to like see if I missed anybody's questions or anything like that.
That's great. Thank you for doing that. And all jokes aside, thank you so much for doing that because I should and I don't.
Yeah, one of us should.
One of us should.
And there has been times where like I've been listening to it with no headphones on and like
You're like, is Zach in my house?
No, it's usually like if I'm at work or something and like people will overhear.
Oh, okay. You're not like, wait, am I over there?
And then people will be like, what'd you say? And I'm like, nothing.
Oh my God, you listen to him at work?
Yeah.
Oh my gosh. Actually, I went into Game Castle today, Santa Clara, and I forgot. So I had pre-ordered some stuff that came in Saturday, but the Nephilim stuff didn't come in until like Monday. And so they're like, your Sigmar stuff's here, your 40K stuff's not. I was like, okay, I'll come get my Sigmar stuff. So I went in Saturday, got my Sigmar stuff, and then I like haven't been in a rush to get the 40K stuff because we had the book here, blah blah blah, right? And I walked in today, and what's Rochelle? Mm-hmm. Rochelle, like I know her name, but I didn't know she knew who I was. And she's like, I walked in, and I heard her kind of say, "Oh, I think we have something for you in the back." And like she left, I was like, "Is that me? Is she talking to me?" And then like I went and got my stuff, and then when I came back, she's like, "Here's this for you." And I was like, "Wow, I didn't know you knew who I was." So maybe that's why she knows who I am, because you subject your employees to our stream.
Well, it's also a thing of
going in there 4 times a week.
There's that.
Often twice a day.
Rochelle's very good at her job.
We have a system with our name on it and credit card. And
yeah, and
I thought about that.
I think you're a recognizable person.
Like one of the people said it was because of my hair.
There's probably that. I also think it's the fact that Lindsay works here.
Lindsay, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Lindsay works there and here, and it's about 5 minutes away. Look, there's a lot of reasons.
Yeah, Rochelle's a very supportive person.
I wear a shirt on it that usually says Zach.
You know, she follows us on social media.
Okay, so there's a lot
I
going
think
on.
every single one of my employees has mentioned at a certain point in time that they've watched at least a stream.
Okay.
So, you know.
Look.
I'm a good boss.
Here's the point.
Is really what I want to say.
Here's the
I'm the
point.
best boss that anyone will ever have. I don't like stamps. I think
you go back and watch all the episodes so that I don't have to. Help keep my hands clean. I like it.
Yeah. So, you know, I think the community has learned a lot about me.
Yeah, the stamp thing is wild. I'll say that. It's the most hostile I've seen you be towards
anything.
If I'm
No.
honest. Well,
no, you've seen me being angry.
Oh, that's true.
Yeah.
Maybe, yeah.
But
Yeah.
That's fair. I think it's the most publicly I will ever express my hatred of something.
Let's just get it out. She's really not fond of barbershop quartets either. That is.
No, I like those. Those are cool.
You like barbershop quartets?
Yeah, I'm fine with that.
Oh, I don't think there's very many people that like barbershop quartets but don't like stamps. I think they're like the same thing. Right?
The Venn diagram overlaps
is
a
mostly
lot.
an overlap.
Yeah.
I doubt there's a lot of people that like stamps but don't. Wait. Yeah, that's interesting. That's super interesting.
Speaking of interesting, thank you, Wade. Thoughts on having armies commissioned? I'm having my BTSM.
Black Templar,
BTS.
Space Marines, and Necrons.
But I'm also having 1,000 Suns army made. Love painting and building, but I don't want to wait a multiple years to have 3 2,000-point armies to play. Get them commissioned by different people would be my thing.
Well, he's painting his own Black Templars and Necrons, but he's gonna commission 1,000 Suns.
Yeah.
Which is great because that army's a pain in the butt to.
Okay.
That.
I don't think there's anything wrong with it.
Yeah.
I don't think there's anything wrong with it. The only thing that I don't like is when someone gets a army commissioned and there is also like a paint, like a Armies on Parade sort of thing of like best painted award, and they're not upfront about the fact that that army is commissioned and then are dishonest about it, and then if that army happens to win,
No good.
I don't like that.
And I mean, this happens.
And it does happen.
It can happen in events because there's always the best painted, right?
Yeah.
And yeah, I've seen some people just take that award and smile and say
go,
thanks.
awesome, cool,
And
thanks.
Super cool.
Spent a lot of money on this. Yeah.
At the very least, you need to right then and there call out take it, submit it. Brian was telling me Brian has a lot of armies commissioned. He never submits them, and I was like, I think you should. Like, you should submit Colin Ward to Israel's armies, and if they win, they win. And then
and then give them the reward or
give them
whatever.
the reward, give them the recognition.
I don't think you should submit it, but I think
it's
similar of like I don't think you should take the credit for it.
I think it's okay. You're Israel's not there. Brian's at some event wherever with the
No, I don't think you should pass it off as yours. Is really
absolutely not.
Yeah. And if you want to submit it, I think you should do it with the permission of the artist, right? Like if Brian submitted the army that Izzy painted for him, and he wanted to do that or whatever, only if Izzy gave his blessings, right?
Yeah, and you got to get that right. Like when that person hands that army over to you, make sure that's. Look, of course, Wade, commission armies. Yeah.
Do it.
I'll be honest. I've never commissioned anything before. I'm doing my first commission actually very soon, in a couple weeks. Saresco, who's was here in chat earlier. Right back up here, there's a ton of Stormcast Eternals. I'm having him paint a bunch of it because I don't actually want to paint a Stormcast army, but I want to have a Stormcast army. Largely, it's being mixed with the studio Stormcast army, which is Brian's, which has been commissioned by other commissioned painters. And I'm going to buy all of it off of Brian. So, I will have a fully commissioned army painted by multiple people. I don't want to paint my own Stormcast army. But what I've learned is I have a lot of 40K friends, and some of them are Sigmar curious. And having a Stormcast army is it's a great army for one side to play because it's just fun. It's easy. The rules are easy. It's fun, and honestly, they're cool. So
yeah. I think if I ever really honestly was oh, I want to play, I'd probably commission an army, and or just borrow an army from somebody.
Or you could do. You know what you could do. This is what you should do. Because you are into painting these big epic centerpieces.
Yeah.
You should paint the Mangler squigs or whatever, and then just paint them, and then find a commission painter you trust, and be match this with all these stupid little models I don't want to paint.
Yeah, that's fair. I think my main thing is to me, I don't think it's. I don't want to play that badly to spend that kind of money.
Yeah.
So
because it is a lot.
Yeah, it's, and I do think that you should pay your commissioners, a lot of money.
Yeah.
But no, I don't think there's anything wrong with it.
But let's not kid ourselves, Wade. That's not why you're asking. Wade's not asking because he wants to know.
I thought he just wanted our thoughts on having armies commissioned.
I think there's something deeper going on.
Okay.
I think Wade has the same thing I have, which is I'm just projecting.
Oh, is there any shame in it?
Yeah, I genuinely, honestly, until I started playing on Titans, I really don't like playing with models that I didn't paint.
Fair.
I don't like it. Now, I've had to do it here on stream, and the first time I had to do it, I wasn't oh, I can't stand this. It was fine. I knew the purpose was different, but it also wasn't an army I owned, right? It was just an army.
You were essentially borrowing.
We have a million armies here.
Yeah, and you needed to play that army.
Exactly. So, but I do really not like having this long-term attachment to an army I didn't paint. And even the Stormcast army that I'm picking up from Brian and Saresco's adding to, even that army is not an army I'm really going to play regularly. If Stormcast get hot in the competitive meta, I would not play them. One, they don't super appeal to me in their playstyle, other than just being good fun for a game or two every now and then.
Uh-huh.
But if I wanted a Stormcast army, I'd paint a new Stormcast army. If I wanted to run Stormcast and be a Stormcast player or whatever. I don't know why. That's so Wade. I don't know if you're asking for permission given. If you're asking,
I don't think there's any shame in it.
No shame.
I do agree with it. It takes a really long time to paint an army, especially if this isn't your full-time thing, right? If you have a busy work life, busy social life,
kids,
whatever, right? Stuff like that.
Yeah.
It takes a long time to do a full 2,000 points.
Yeah, I think that would be something though that I would not be surprised to find other people. I know I've talked to other people who have this weird kind of interior issue going on where they're I don't want to own an army I didn't paint. I don't know, your friends come over and look at your shelf and they're this is so cool, and you're oh yeah, I had a guy paint that for me.
Yeah, I don't think there should be any shame in it. I don't think anyone should shame anyone for it. I don't think there's anything wrong with it.
Can I shame myself for it?
Yeah, you can shame whatever you know.
I can shame myself for it.
You can have a shelf of shame, and your commissioned army can be on there.
Oh, that is my pile of shame. Would be an army that's beautifully painted that I didn't paint.
Yeah.
And honestly, I'm super excited to actually undertake this process of working with Saresco. And having this army I didn't paint, and I think it's really cool. And look, you're picking the right army way to get commissioned, because Thousand Suns is a slog to get through. And you're gonna have 3 armies. It's super cool. Yeah, why not?
Yeah, I think that's fantastic. I don't think anyone should look down on anyone for commissioning anything.
Yeah.
So.
And Wade, let me make it clear. I do want to make it clear. I don't. But if you have your own internal grief with yourself over it, I can't do it. I want to be the one who painted it. I get it. I definitely get it.
Yeah, that's understandable.
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah. So those are all of our thoughts on commissioned army.
Yeah.
We're just gonna shotgun effect every single question.
Here's the question: what happens? How do you feel in the stamp collecting world if you someone just hands you a book of stamps, the collection?
Oh, and you didn't personally.
You didn't assemble the the binder of the stamps yourself.
I don't know, because they're kind of like stickers, right? So do you like the layout of it?
Right.
I don't know exactly like how stamp collecting works. Do you cut them? Like,
Yeah, I
do
bet
they
you
have to
don't.
be used?
Sounds like you don't. You made it pretty clear you don't know how stamp collecting works here today. No, I
Are
think
they
they're not
used
supposed
and
to
then
be used.
stamped by?
I think they're worth more if they have not been licked.
Oh, do you lick stamps now?
You used to.
Okay, fair.
'Cause
Oh,
actually,
those are old school stamps. I get it. Yeah.
I think if you lick a stamp, an old stamp, it will dissolve.
Has germs.
It'll melt eventually.
Like rice paper.
Yes. Maybe. All right, look, we're in dangerous territory here once again with this stamp collecting stuff. Hobby Times is, we are never we are in trouble with the stamp. We are gonna have, we're in crisis.
Very
mode tomorrow.
strongly worded letters written to us
We're in
with
crisis.
stamps.
We're in crisis. Yeah, they're gonna be stamped beautifully. We're gonna get in the mail. Like this beautiful envelope with like this. Is this stamp from like? Is this even an American stamp? It's gonna be beautiful, and then we're like, I know who this is from.
Yeah.
And every threat the stamp collecting industry community sends you, you know it's coming because of the stamp.
Because it's you know,
it's well stamped.
snail mail.
Yeah, it's snail mail,
yeah.
well stamped.
Yeah.
Okay, thank you, Rudy, once again. Hobby Times fam, my time in Georgia is almost done. I've been stationed in Fort Gordon for school and just graduated. I'll be moving overseas to my next duty station soon, and I'm uncertain how often I will be able to watch the streams in the coming months. Can you just scroll down just a little tiny?
Yeah.
The live streams continue to be an indispensable part of my hobby enjoyment, and I look forward to hobbying with you again like a warm blanket on a cold winter evening. This is not a goodbye. I look forward to the next super chat shout out soon. Well, thank you, Rudy. Kind of curious. I'm sure people are asking you where you're going. Maybe you don't know yet. And that sounds like an exciting
adventure.
I'm also curious in Georgia what you were. So you're in school in Georgia. I feel like I know some of the military because we have the out here we have like the Monterey, the language school. Mm-hmm. I'm kind of curious what you're learning. I think you brought it up before, Rudy. I do not remember. So actually, super excited for you in this. That sounds fun.
Yeah.
Let us know where you're going if you can, and if you know, you might not know yet. And we've been appreciating your work. We actually have some of it in fan stuff, which we're gonna get to here in a minute, of course. That's awesome. Rudy is like leaving behind a store full of terrain.
That's like I thought like that's where you were gonna stay forever and you were gonna be able to like play with it forever. But that makes like
It makes it crazy.
Very generous, selfless act
Yeah.
of already like monumental proportions,
Right?
even bigger.
Right?
So, yeah. Good luck on your latest adventure. We'll be sad to not have you around as much, but completely understandable.
Yeah, and we look forward to seeing you drop a comment in the video after it's gone to VOD.
I hope you still stay active in the Discord, though.
Yeah, please, absolutely.
I love seeing your latest progression in your hobby journey.
Yeah, depending on where he's going, the 40K world could be still really active. I don't know. That could go either way in the military. If you're going to like South Korea or Japan.
I know in general,
yeah,
it's a pretty big thing in the military.
it is big in the military. Yeah. Oh, within the military, yeah, that's true. And like if he's going to a place where it's not big in the world outside the military,
yeah,
he could still hopefully get games in or get some involvement within. Well, maybe this is why he's actually asking about audiobooks.
yeah. Red Rising, please.
Satellite communications repair. Next 3 station will be in Bahrain, but we'll be traveling frequently. So yeah, Bahrain probably doesn't have like a big 40K scene, but within the military there, you probably hopefully can find people. I'm sure that you already know how to do that. Awesome. Hey, should we look at fan stuff?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Let me get this
Oh
line.
no, yeah. Let me just ask you. I'm sitting here actually doing.
No. I was just trying to like.
If you want to hit the fan stuff button, and you can hand me the mouse if you want, Kat. I can go through it.
That's a button.
We have awesome fans. The fan stuff today. Okay. Last week, Megan picked I think 40 pictures for fan stuff. And look, she it's not like they weren't good. They were amazing. The fan stuff today is shorter. It's still pretty long.
Because you picked it.
I picked it, but it's pretty good. It's pretty, everything is like amazing. Okay, these are, first of all, these models are very cool models to begin with, both visually and just like, just like conceptually, these like priests, they're crazy priests.
What's on their heads?
It's like, this is all, they're like very electrified. So I don't know how they live into it. They're not entirely all human. They're like servitors, so they're like part, like in 40K, the Imperium doesn't allow robots.
Okay.
But it does allow you to make what's called like a servitor. And a servitor is like, it's somewhat of a cyborg, but it's very dark. It's like their brain and
it's like the Emperor.
Yeah, sort of.
Yeah.
In a way. Oh yeah, almost exactly. Like they'll even remove like parts of your brain, so all you think to do is like shovel coal or whatever it is, right?
Like a robot.
Yes, they literally make robots out of like human brains.
Nice.
It's very messed up. It's like what they do with prisoners or like.
Oh, do they not like robots because of Necrons?
No, they don't like robots because, so like, you know, oh wow, we are getting into it. Okay, fan stuff off for 1 second. Here we go. Can we hit front? Okay, so kind of cool actually. If you read before the Horus Heresy, you know, like it's called, these years are meant to be like a progression of our timeline, right? So it's not a different universe where we never existed.
Right.
Like we've existed in the 40K universe right now.
Well, yeah. I mean, how do you think they got Captain Titus? Like,
exactly. But what is it like? They humans like advance. They go out all over the place, and they make like varying AI. They get like super into AI.
Like Google's AI.
Yeah.
Exactly. Yeah.
I think
I get it. I get it.
25,000. They basically have a war with like the robot warriors they made, and it's sort of like they had a bad experience with AI, and so they hate it now, and they like. It's actually it's one of the big things that started. It's similar to Terminator, right? It's like one of the big things that started the collapse of humans, and then built back up to the Horus Heresy. Like,
I see.
Okay, now with that said, that's what I believe these guys are. Basically, they're like crazy servitor priest dudes who are like covered in voltage equipment, and they're super cool. And these guys look amazing. I love the color palette here. I love the Martian bases.
See, I've never seen these guys before, so that's like even more interesting to me.
Okay.
But I don't know if it's like the weird coloring on the monitor, but the skin is sort of like a pellet, almost like purpley, mixed with the like very orange base and or whatever their like headband thing is.
Yeah, like this gold. Yeah, we have some in the other room. I'll show you that Colin Ward painted. They look amazing. And this guy's look amazing as well. Really nice work. Oh, this is Bryce. We always show Bryce's work. Bryce has been posting like crazy. We just had Bryce's Skaven on the channel on Friday. They look amazing. They're sitting over here at the studio right now. And they look great. Bryce does this awesome quartered pattern on his Dark Angels.
I was about to ask what these are.
Dark Angels, yeah. Not easy to do the quartered pattern.
Yeah, I was about to say, because like, while I was looking up colors for this tank, I saw a lot of them that were like half and half, like down the center, and I'm like, that would be pretty cool. So this is it, but like more. And the gold and the green, I like a lot.
Yeah, and the silver and everything. Yeah, it's super cool. Oh, great unclean one. Look, if you paint a great unclean one, you're getting on fan stuff. It's just all there is to it.
Oh, really? That's your thing?
I mean, like, I think it's I actually think that to a degree, the Nurgle line is like, let's say you've got like a kid who like kind of got into painting and is like, you let them paint a few Marines or whatever, you let them and they paint, you know, a vehicle, they just paint a few random things, and then they like want to paint an army, and like, but you want to like have that, you know, they want to paint an army. Like, where do basic techniques go far? I think Nurgle is like a good army for this. Like Nurgle stuff, washing goes far, dry brushing goes far.
Dry brushing for sure.
Yeah.
Having having painted something sort of Nurgle-y looking, which was the Plague Angel, I can tell you that painting every single one of those individual little pustules like a different color is like a feat in and of itself. Because
but you can do it, but you don't have to, right?
No,
like,
but it looks like this person did, is what I wanted to say. Because like every time you're like, oh, okay, I did them all, and then you turn them around and you find like 10 more.
But I sort of like that about Nurgle in a way, because like I think like the big open spaces can be done. You can get a lot of mileage out of some good, quick techniques.
Yeah.
Like airbrushing or even
dry
just rattle
brushing,
can and then dry like.
Washing for sure, because all the folds and
then
stuff,
you get this time to go in and do these details, and you can be really interested. You can do interesting thing with all these like little gross details.
Yeah, I agree with you. This one's really well done. I'm also a big fan of like a drab green color. Yeah. So yeah.
Nice stuff.
I like the highlighting on it too.
Okay. So this is what I opened up the page to. There's a few pictures. Just an amazing looking white scar.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Now, so. Because of the Horus Heresy stuff that's going around, right? I'm seeing a lot of these like
the beakies.
Beak guys.
Yeah.
Why that?
That's the Mark 6 Space Marine armor.
Is there like a function to it like
beak?
that, or is it that's just a
stylistic?
Yeah.
Okay, folks, this is a really interesting question. Maybe somebody knows this in chat. I don't always feel like we've had a ton of heresy, deep lore people in chat. Correct me if I'm wrong, though. There's something with Mark 6 actually first being issued to Raven Guard, who are named after a bird. And also, I thought it was like very early. They're not birds, but the army I'm painting here today, Alpha Legion. I feel like there was like, was this armor not like Mark 6 issued first for like a lengthy period of time, only Raven Guard and possibly Alpha Legion? Is there a tie-in with the beak and Raven Guard? Does anyone know why this Space Marine has a beak face?
Yeah. Well, because it kind of looks like a plague doctor, thing, which does serve a function. So that's what I was wondering about. But it also kind of goes back to like us trying to remember the Stormtalon name. We were like Thunderhawk, Stormhawk, whatever. Here's weather and a bird of prey.
It's full of sensor equipment. Okay, yeah, that makes sense, guys. But like, rebreather. Yeah, but like, what you guys are saying is the what it does. But that could look
the shape. Yeah,
that could look a number of ways, right?
I wonder if it's just like the technology for it was whatever the shape of that, right? And then they made the helmet around it.
Okay.
Can
anyone back me up on my thing that it had something? So okay, I what you guys are saying is I believe you. That's the why. It's not. It explains the function. It doesn't explain the design.
Fair.
Okay.
But yeah.
So is there not? Am I right or wrong? Does anybody know what I'm talking about with this Mark armor first being issued to Raven Guard, or like I think. And if that has anything to do with it, I don't know. Anyway, let me know if you guys know. Hey, this one looks amazing.
Yeah. The thing that's like really sticking out to me about this model in particular is the sort of like bluish on the claws matches the gun, and it like gives it this really cool balance. But also, from personal experience, making white look good while also grimy is really, really, really hard. So this did it. Yeah.
Yeah, interesting response. Yeah, lots of what you guys are saying makes sense. Graham, yes, Cork. I know it has something to do with Raven Guard. It totally makes sense that you would like have deflection, but like because even like Middle Ages knight helmets often have like that kind of come to a point in the front.
Yeah. Well, that was also a thing of like if you got hit in the face and it caved in, it wouldn't immediately like cave your face in as well too. So
okay, it is called Corvus pattern armor,
and also blades deflected off of it as well too. So
it's most popular with Raven Guard. The beak, which is extra equipment. Interesting. He looks great. Moving on. There's a lot of great stuff. Oh, here we go. Here's Rudy. Yeah, and he painted a little Hobby Titans thing on here. Little Hobby Titans graffiti. Super cool. Yeah, and Rudy, I think, was making these out of, I forget now, it was like electrical box equipment stuff, which you can go pretty far with, honestly. I started doing that, and then I was like, I should just buy kits. I'm kind of back into it now, like found object terrain.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I know he also said that he was making these, like stencils and printing them and then putting them on, or not stencils, decals. So that was really cool, because like the first one that I saw, I was like, wow, such detail. But yeah,
I like the graffiti. I like how he's got the running paint. The running paint is great, because like the running paint is this way that you can definitely like make it look like it was graffiti.
Yeah, it sells it.
Yeah, it's all exactly. Yeah, it looks awesome. Rudy, congrats to you. Congrats to all of the work you've done for this store. Oh man, I forget where I was the other day. I think I was just hanging out at home with Meg, and I was like, was I thinking about going somewhere, like looking at RTT somewhere, and I was like, I would love to just like randomly go to an RTT, even like a 1-day RTT, and then just like visit that town for a few days. I was like, I should go. I want to go to like the shop where Rudy has made all this terrain.
Yeah.
I know he mentioned like where it was as well too. It's somewhere in Georgia.
It's in starts with an A. Hold on, it's not Augusta. That's where the Masters is. It's not in it's in Athens, Georgia.
Yeah.
Yes.
Maybe. I don't know. All I know is that it's like a 2-hour.
It is in Augusta.
2-hour, maybe 2.5-hour drive from Atlanta.
Yeah.
So yeah, I think that'd be really cool though, because I would definitely want to see just this.
I just want to see a store full of like, the vision, because even here we like we've got terrain made by lots of you said like it'd be cool to see a terrain where like the vision is mostly just one person, right?
Yeah, or like in like one very concentrated amount of time, because like even the terrain that I've painted has been done over 4 or 5 years.
Yeah, and it's like changes dramatically your styling and stuff.
A lot of the terrain that Seth has done has been done over over a decade, and so yeah, you learn different things, different tools come out. So yeah.
Oh, Rudy used a paint pen. I've actually never really used a paint pen. No, I didn't dox Rudy. He brought it up last time.
Yeah, also, we're not trying to dox anybody. Also, Rudy's leaving as well too.
To Bahrain. So like he's like Rudy. Listen, if somebody wants to hunt Rudy down, he's currently in Georgia.
Don't do that. Don't do that.
No, I'm not saying that anyone's gonna do like something mean. I'm just saying like we know the general geography of Rudy for the next short period of time.
However long, yeah.
Yeah, I won't.
Yeah, but this terrain will not be going with him, which is why.
Why I'm gonna.
Yeah.
Yes.
We want
of course,
to
nobody's actually gonna. Please, nobody hunt Rudy down.
Yeah, it's really cool.
This is awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah. This just looks good. This is just one of those like really nice looking Knight models.
Yeah, I like the clean.
You love Knights.
I like the cleanness of it too. I love weathering the heck out of things, but I do very much appreciate like a pristine, factory new type look as well. It just makes me want to weather it though. But it's so well done. Yeah.
How would you weather this?
Oh, with like a bunch of chipping and some scratches and just like super rusted out, right? To me, I would like focus on the base, right? Like, okay, I'm gonna try and imagine the world that base
Oh, like
is.
stomping through the dirt and stuff.
Yeah. And so like, what would it be weathered with? Probably a bunch of pigments, because it looks like a very dry and arid world. So probably not rust, but just like maybe a ton of like scratches and chipping and stuff.
Yeah, no, I like it without it. And I like it with it. The nice thing about weathering though is like this person can just like have it cleaned and then like down the road be like, you know what? I'm weathering it.
Drop it a couple times and be like, I'm just gonna weather this.
Yeah, you can always like weather later.
Yeah, no, this is really good. I love the very soft highlights on everything. It was very well done. It's not like sharp and like here in your face, here's a glow, here's a line highlight, kind of thing.
Yeah.
Is very smooth.
It's beautiful.
Yeah.
I also love purple and white. It's a cool look.
Now, these ones, there was a bigger picture, right?
Oh, that's right. Yeah, I was like trying to gauge what was happening in this picture for a second. I was like,
we
why,
cropped
why is
it.
Yeah, so it was the size was just there's 5 knights. This is one that I totally encourage people to go check out on Discord. It's like 5 Chaos Knights, and they look incredible.
Yeah.
We had to crop 2 out because it was a long picture.
We both agreed that this middle one was like the coolest one, though. Yeah.
Yeah.
It was our personal favorite, I guess.
Yeah.
But all of them are really cool. I would definitely go and check out the picture because there are 5 of them, and they're all painted to the same quality as well, too. So this was great.
Super cool. Mm-hmm. I just like the way this orc is painted. It's like vivid. It's like
I love that sword.
Yeah, the sword is cool.
That's
too.
so good.
Yeah. The way they did orc skin is like probably not a way I ever would have thought to do orc skin.
Almost comic booky.
Almost, and I like that. Yeah, it's like you can. It's almost looks like they like took a picture of an orc and did like one of those filters on Photoshop where it like makes it look a little bit like a comic book.
Yeah,
that's like kind of the look it has, and I like it.
Yeah, it's cool because like the sword is so like realistic in the weathering and the coloring of it, and then the comic booky like pop color of the orc skin.
Yeah.
Like it just makes it stand out. Really well.
Yeah, it's super cool. Now look, Saresco, in the previous picture, the guy on the back left, they're not sunglasses. I kind of thought that too at first. They're like 2 tubes going into his eye sockets.
It does look like sunglasses.
It does at first glance. And I was like, that was a weird aesthetic choice. But then when you look closely, it's like these tubes, and they actually look really...
Super metal.
Super scary.
Super chaos.
Yeah, super chaos. Yeah. A super cool orc. Oops, there is Saresco. Speaking of, this is his Badab War Salamanders. Cruising along with this. I'm kind of curious, Saresco, you're in chat. I'm kind of curious how many points of this you have. And is this for you, or is this a commission? Very curious.
I love that camo.
Yeah.
I love that camo. I was literally talking to someone the other day who was trying to do, and it was scale modeling and stuff, so they needed to make it like the lines specifically a certain width and everything, but they were asking for advice on how to do that. And so it was just a conversation that I had like I think a couple weeks ago, but I really like that camo. That's really cool.
It's cool. He's got a lot of stuff on this way. Keep up the good work, Saresco. I love this. Just a cool Space Marine. Just looking great.
All that rust. Oh gosh, it's so cool. Weathered. It's so cool because it makes it look like he's like a suit of armor, and then like that's it. Right?
I was actually gonna ask, like, one of the reasons you love vehicles is because you like weathering. Like, what is your like? Are you not? It's just like doesn't go as far in infantry.
It doesn't go as far as infantry because like to me, very similar to how I was like we were talking about how I would weather that night of like, okay, I'm gonna take the base, discover what world it's on. I'm going to tell the story of like, this is where it's been.
Right.
You can kind of do that with infantry models. But to me, I don't think you can tell as like much of a story, really.
Yeah.
In my opinion, like the way that I weathered the night for you guys, because I made it all very summery themed, and so it was like on a beach. It was on a beach, and there's chickens building a sandcastle and stuff.
Yeah.
So I weathered the front of it the most, and so it was like, okay, the wind and the salt and the rain and you know everything was hitting the front of it, and then the back of it was like a little bit here and there, but like that's the kind of story that I want to tell, and you can't. Maybe you can. I don't know.
Okay, so this is paint by Godforge. Yeah, we can see the flame is not quite done, but still, it's looking great. It's looking amazing, man.
Yeah, I like it. There's a nice middle ground of like weathered in, lived in kind of thing that I like to sit in, and this is pretty much it. Yeah. It's on the far end of like super weathered, but like
man, I might be the other way around. I think I either like clean or look at those insane like that one Goblin Hill product we looked at.
Oh, okay.
I almost like insane one way or the other. There's there's an Instagram I follow. I might have shown it to you. I can't remember what it's called, but the guy does all these like horror style super weathered things that are really cool. Builds a lot of weird conversions and totally not panicking, or something like that. It's called. Does anyone know this channel? Totally. No. Yeah. I'll show you at some point. Oh, okay. Soup's painting some faces. Asuryani faces.
Yeah, throwback to last week's stream.
Did we look? Well, we looked at these, but not the faces, right?
No. I was just saying
Megan,
painting faces. Yeah.
Sometimes I almost did post some from last week because I keep going back. I'm like, this is so cool. This is so cool. And then it's like, oh wait, we did this last week. Yeah, Soups. These faces are looking great, dude.
Yeah, very expressive.
Yeah.
I like it. This is awesome.
Yeah, these look great.
Painting tiny little faces is so hard too.
It's a pain in the butt, right?
Yeah.
Okay, this looks cool. So our colors are weird here, and I'm wondering. So first of all, it's like this purple brownish kind of palette, which I'm into. And then these are from, I always forget the company that makes these, but they're the same ones that we 3D print these little base bits from. Adrian prints them. And these are
Make
like,
It Epic or something like that?
Yeah. And what's so funny about these, Meg knows these fumes the other week. I was thinking how cool they looked. I was like, yeah, that's actually not the GW. It's a third party thing. And what I love about this bit is that it's like looks super cool and is very functional because the actual flying stand for these guys is awful.
Yeah. I was playing with the flight stand or the hover stand for this, and I was like, this is a thing, I guess.
Yeah.
But I will put it on it because it doesn't want to sit normally without it. So, yeah, but I'm not a big fan of flight stands. I was looking at floating rock terrain, and it just had these like clear acrylic rods through it. And I'm like, that kills it for me. I don't like it. So this is really cool. I like that.
Yeah, it's a clever way of figuring out how to show elevation and and the paint job's very cool. I'm liking the color palette.
I like the desaturated color palette as well too. Like it's orange and purple, but it's not like super bright. Yeah.
Okay, back to the
That's
priest. Yeah, awesome work. Really nice. You feeling good about where you got? Hey, that's awesome black.
It's black, right?
Yeah.
It reads as black now,
Yeah,
right?
black.
But
That's
you
very
can see everything that I did to it too.
That's a good recipe.
Yeah. Didn't write it down, so if any of you want it, you gotta pay attention to what I did.
That's kind of one of the fun things about the stream sometimes is like, honestly, I like to, if I have something I've done and then I didn't write down, I'll be like, I used to like, I gotta go write down. And now I'm like, I'll be like laying in bed Monday and I'll be like, I'll just do it on stream Wednesday. I'll do it on stream Wednesday and I'll make sure like I talk through it and like press buttons to show it. Awesome.
Yeah.
What are you going to be working on this week? That guy more?
I'm actually leaving to Texas tomorrow. So nothing.
Nothing. I'll be working more Alpha Legion tomorrow and Friday. Saturday, you can see these guys over in Tabletop Titans. I'll be playing them again for the premiere of this book. It'll be in stores. It's very exciting. Cool. Anything else, Kat?
I'm running on fumes.
I know, we both are.
I'm running on fumes. I am very much looking forward to
sleeping.
A day off at some point. Yeah, that'd be great.
Yeah, I've been painting Alpha Legion or reading the new book about Alpha Legion, so I know the rules, and that's like surprisingly takes up a lot of time, but not quite as exhausting as traveling every weekend all over the place.
Yeah, and filling in for stores and stuff.
Yeah.
But we had a grand opening and it went really well. Yeah, everyone there was super.
Was it? Remind us
nice.
the town. Kent. It's like a suburb of Seattle. Yeah.
It's just right outside of Seattle. It's I think maybe a little bit south. It's maybe like a 15-20 minute drive south. But it's the same town that the Games Workshop is in.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah.
That's right.
And it was actually really cool because it's in like this little place called Titusville.
Oh, that's like. Did you get a picture?
Yes, I did. Like the post office is in Titus Alley, and like it was great. I wanted to steal a sign, but they didn't have a sign.
Post office? Do they even let you in there because of your stamp stuff?
No. Yeah, I'm banned.
She's banned from post offices.
Yeah.
Awesome, friends. Thank you so much. as always, as we like to say, be kind to each other, be kind to yourselves, and always be creating. See you guys.